Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to another episode of Rival Watch and Kop-ish Kall-in. My name is Callum. Matt and Drifty will be joining shortly. Didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long, so I hope you're all well and good, everyone. Let's firstly speak about Marc Gonzalez. So news came out today that Marc Gonzalez suffered a heart attack. So thoughts and prayers go out to Marc Gonzalez and his family, and hopefully he recovers as soon as possible. And yeah, all thoughts and prayers go out to Marc Gonzalez and his family. Also, shout out to Joe Fagan as well. Would have been 100 years old today. He's the pioneer of and one of the greatest figures we've ever had at the club. So shout out to Joe Fagan, a century of a legend, and also one of our close friends and one of the supporters of the channel, Kadir Hussein. It's his birthday today, so he messaged me earlier to say it's his birthday, so as rightly so, we dropped the beat for you, Kadir. So yes, happy birthday, Kadir. Hope you had a good one.
Happy birthday, man.
Big games this weekend. Obviously, we're not going to speak about our game. We're going to have a dedicated preview to that game between Wolves and Liverpool. Some big games for the other. I don't want to use the term top six anymore. We kind of have to use the term big six because at the moment we're not in the top six. Arsenal aren't in the top six.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to start paying respect to some of the other teams. And I think Leicester could potentially now be seen as the top six team in the Premier League. So obviously have to pay respect. And obviously it's a bit numbing to say that about ourselves as well. Also, the Nike kit's been leaked today, or a leaked version of it. The less said about it, the better. The less said about it, the better. If that's what Nike are doing, then do better, please. Do much better than that. And if people in the design team are signing that off, do better, please. Do much better, please.
The problem with Nike, remember their slogan is "Just do it." They just did it.
Yeah,
just done anything.
Just did it, innit?
Just did it. So
do you know what I've never understood? Because you get like loads of different creators out there, bro, who like create versions of kits and stuff. I've never understood why like a Nike don't, or any company don't do like a competition, for example, be like send in your designs and we'll pick the best ones and you'll get a shout out or something like that. Do you know how many people and how many great designs you'll get? Maybe I'm being naive because maybe the design team, that's their job and all that. But some of the designs I've seen are better than the kits that we get produced.
Oh yeah, like 100%. Do you know what it is? I just think they probably have a design team, and I think a lot of the times they play it safe. And I think it's not necessarily. Do you know what it is? They don't want to work hard for themselves, which I think is unfair because the amount of money.
It's ridiculous.
No, because all it is a template, and they just copy and paste for literally every single team, especially with Nike. Adidas sometimes will do something slightly different every now and again, but a lot of the big manufacturers, they kind of do this whole copy and paste thing, and it is frustrating. Like your Nike, and you've got Adidas, and obviously you've got Puma. Those are probably the three biggest ones. And a lot of the times it's this copy and paste thing. You think to yourself, where's the imagination? Like we're in 2021 and they still do these basic things. It literally is just the sponsor and the Nike team.
Yeah.
That is it.
And the badge,
There's no pattern, no nothing. It's just like, come on, man.
Cabdi says, can you speak Somali? No, I can't, unfortunately.
I know, I can't.
English and Patwa are only two languages I know, if I'm going to be honest.
For real, that's about it, man.
Yeah, apologies. I'll be honest, like, even when you look at, like, the New Balance kits that we had before, like, they were beautiful kits. Like, but the only don't get me wrong, I was happy we did move tonight because they've got a better infrastructure and distribution, etc. And
definitely.
Some of the names we can be linked with. We should, in theory, get a lot more money from Nike. But the New Balance kits, I'm gonna be real with you. Some of them kits are beautiful.
bro.
Some of my favourite kits were New Balance.
Definitely, like I'll pick one out now. The 17-18 kit, like
Bruh,
Mo Salah's
beautiful.
season. I love that kit.
Bruv, even the 18-19 with the collar, bro. That
Yeah,
beautiful kit.
bro. It's
But
so
it's not
mad.
even these ones. Nike haven't even done long sleeves. They've
No,
not
they
even done
haven't.
long sleeves.
No,
How can you not do long sleeve tops, man?
bro.
Come on now, man.
Listen, as you said it, yeah. The only reason I think we even went to Nike is literally because of distribution, and they've got a bigger reach. And one thing I will say about New Balance kits, yeah, if you don't get them on launch, you know how hard it was to kind of get a Liverpool kit. And I always found that, we're Liverpool, and like we're selling out a kit so quick, like, and it was a bit mad. So that's why I think Liverpool have gone with them. And obviously the whole 20% royalties and all that stuff, obviously they're thinking about money. But if you think about from a fan's perspective in terms of what we want to wear, dare I say it, the New Balance kits have had more flavour, bro. They just have. And they've all been very, very different. Think of the 17-18, as you said, to the 18-19. That was completely different. Then to the 19-20, when we had the pinstripe, that completely different.
But even the away kits, remember we had the luminous orange one.
Yes, that was the 17-18 as well.
Thunder one. We had the purple one, the grey one.
Yeah.
But
That's
even the goalkeeper kit last season, the black and gold, bro, that is one of my all-time favourite kits.
That should have been that should have been the away kit.
Should have been the away kit.
Should have been the away kit. We need to go back to our black away kit.
You know, maybe we might have to do a little show where we look at kits when the new ones launch. Maybe even see if we can try and get Andrew Menster back on, because he's the kit connoisseur, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Yeah, might have to chop it up with him and do a whole show dedicated to football kits. But let's get to the matter at hand, bro. Let's speak about some of these rival games. So I'm not going to spend too long on some of the games. We will spend a little bit of time on the North London derby for obvious reasons. Leeds Chelsea. What do you see the result being in that game, bro?
Do you know what? Leeds are one of those teams that I've always said they can win at any ground if they want to. It's just that they play with a bit of naivety. But I love their approach to football. It can lead to downfalls, though. But I think Chelsea under Tuchel, they've looked a lot more sturdy, a bit more pragmatic. Attacking wise, they're still not there, but defensively they are playing well at the moment. But again, Leeds can open up any team in the Premier League in my opinion. In the Premier League. So I'm gonna say Chelsea 2-1. I think Leeds will score, but I just think Leeds again, they can sometimes just be a bit naive when they play, and they push forward a lot. They was playing the front foot, and that can lead to some problems. So no pun intended when I say that. But yeah, Chelsea for me, I think take this one. I think Chelsea they're in good form right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll actually go 3-1 Chelsea. I think Leeds can always threaten to get a goal. The only thing is they concede for fun, and I can see Chelsea players just having a field day because they are so naive defensively. And Chelsea are very strong defensively. I can see Chelsea playing on the counter attack quite a bit. So I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea. Fulham versus Man City.
Listen, you see, Fulham gave us problems. Yeah.
Do you know what? Sorry to cut you, man. I love, but you know what? Fulham actually played good football. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what I was going to start off with. They gave us problems, innit? Because going forward, they're actually a decent team. But I think defensively, against a team like Man City that will probe until the end, Man City, I kind of see a win here. Fulham will do well in certain parts of the game, but I see this game of Man City dictating, controlling. Fulham may be able to do something on a counter if they play the correct ball, but I just don't see it. So even if they had like a 5-minute spell where it's like if you don't score in that 5-minute spell, you ain't doing nothing. I just see Man City, bro, all the way. Man City, I think they're too strong for them, in my opinion. I think Man City will take this one 3-1. That's 3-1. And I'm being generous to Fulham, thinking that they're even going to score as well.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 for this one. I think Man City will keep a clean sheet. I mean, Fulham against us, they could have had a couple of goals, but defensively we weren't on point. And Man City kind of are defensively always on point. So I'm going to go 3-0. They score goals, they can open teams up. So definitely. I think they'll get a couple of goals tomorrow. Shout out to Welford TV. Shout out to Finn from Welford TV. Go and follow Finn if you don't already. Great Liverpool channel there, so make sure you support. Leicester versus Sheffield United.
What my man just
without
walked
Chris
away,
Wilder.
innit?
Yeah, without Chris Wilder.
I mean, do you know what can happen though? Sometimes when a manager leaves, the
I'm
team
sorry to
can
cut.
kinda...
Did he walk? Did he walk, or was he sacked?
Well, the rumor was he walked, but there's also been other rumors that he's been sacked. I don't think it's been clear cut from what I've heard, but I'm still just gonna say, well, he's got in it. Whether he walked or not, I don't know. But I say this though, it's a bit weird to do it now because the season is coming to a close. So it's like, are you gonna?
And they're
base
down
this
already.
On... Yeah, they're down and out. I just feel like if they were gonna do this, they should have maybe done it at the beginning of the year to give themselves a bit of a chance. They've left it until March now. There's kind of no point. But you could kind of see it coming, whether it's going to be at the end of the season or beginning of right before the beginning of next season. Leicester will beat them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sheffield United might put up a bigger fight. They might. I don't know who's in charge. I don't know whether it's gonna be new ideas for them, but that's not going to change overnight, Cal. If you ask me, they're still down in the dumps. They're probably going to feel still a bit sorry for themselves as well. I see Leicester winning this one 2-0.
2-0. Shout out to M. Millsy. M. Millsy said he officially stepped down. Apparently, he's been linked to the Celtic job as well, so maybe that could be a thing.
Okay.
Matt Bickerzette says,
you lot, look at the picture as well. Like, where you lot have got time on your hands?
I don't know.
I look like I'm taking a dump. Man's like this. I know I'm all over the place, bro.
Bolton, Baresi, and Kabak with Fab CDM, or else we riot. Damn straight.
Aye.
Damn straight.
That is true. Matt Bickerzette.
I'm going to go the same scoreline for the Leicester game. I'm going to go 2-0. I think Sheffield United will start defensively, but I think they'll do the business. I don't think they'll be all right. I mean, they've got quite a depleted team at the moment. Leicester have, so I still think they'll do it because they've got better players and they've got a better system in the way they play.
Indeed, and I just think right now Leicester, remember they're playing for something. Sheffield United aren't playing for anything. Like if anything, they're more playing for. Dare I say it? If you do want to leave Sheffield United, you might want to put on a show to see if you can get bought, and that's not disrespect because some players might not want to go down to the lower division. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I was gonna. That's a good point you make because I mean it's weird because when Norwich went down, there was a few players you saw. There was obviously Jamal Lewis teams were looking at Godfrey, Buendia. Not all these players left obviously, but Buendia, Cantwell, Pookie. Some teams were looking at. Max Aaron. So there was loads of players that were sort of looked at, teams probably thought, might take a punt there, might take a punt. However, when you look at Sheffield United's team, I don't see that.
Nah, and let's be real. Do you know I really feel sorry for? You know, I'm going to say, you know who it is? It's Brewster because even though...
I do and I don't. I do and I don't.
Well, the way I look at it is like this. I know Brewster was untested in the Premier League, but I kind of even felt that he went to the wrong team. Like the style of play, like he needs a team that can hold on to the ball and be decisive in the final third. And I feel like Sheffield United aren't that team.
No,
even if you went to say like, do you know who really done well at actually? Maybe the step up might have been a bit too much, but like a Leicester playing with a Jamie
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Palace. Even who's the other team I was going to say? Dare I say it? Newcastle. And Newcastle is a massive club. It's a sleeping giant.
Shall I tell you what is with Brewster? Why I do feel sorry for him and I don't. I do feel sorry for him because I feel as though because of the position he put himself in, he was forced to kind of go to the club or any club at that point. But at the same time, I don't feel sorry for him because he kept on making noise about, I want to leave. But for me, I think he'd have been better off staying at Liverpool. I genuinely do. And I don't think he was forced out. I think he pushed on the move. And again, I could be wrong. I'm going from my guesses. I have no inside info on the Brewster situation. But from the outside looking in, it seemed as though he wanted to leave and he dug his heels in and said, no, I want to leave. And for me, I genuinely feel as though he would have learnt more playing at Liverpool than going to Sheffield United.
Definitely. And dare I say, I just feel like at the moment, Brewster looks like a player that probably plays best in a 2.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think you can consider him that lone striker, which is he's going to cause all those problems. So
unless you got a creative player behind him, so like a second striker or a 10.
Exactly. Not many teams play with 2. I tell you where it might have worked, believe it. Southampton, because they play a 2 sometimes with Adams and Ings, and I just thought, imagine Ings and Brewster, maybe because
Brewster could have worked well at Southampton. That's a great shot, man.
Yeah,
that's a great shot. I like that. That's actually a shot, man. That should have happened.
Bro,
to be honest.
2 up top, bro. They're one of the very few teams that play 2 up top, innit?
And they do it well.
Yeah, I know sometimes they do 4-3-3 because I think recently they've had a couple of injuries where I think it's been either Ings and then Minamino and then someone else, but a lot of the times it was Trey Adams and Ings up top, innit?
Yeah, it's a shout. Man United versus West Ham.
Oh, see, Man United are coming off a victory against Man City, which I did not foresee.
But they also drew against AC Milan.
Yeah, and West Ham. What did West Ham do in their last game? I'm trying to remember. Did they win actually?
Double check.
Hold on, I'm trying to think that they played.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, because West Ham are on their day. West Ham are dangerous, and they've been dangerous this season. They've kind of just gone underneath the radar, like so to speak. People speak more about they beat Leeds. Someone see my man Bicazette just told me they beat Leeds. So, bro, you have to give West Ham some credit. Do you know what, Cal? I'm actually going to give West Ham a lot of credit for this game. I actually think it could be a draw. You know, could be a draw.
Wow.
Because you want to know something. Man United are a bit of a team where you expect them to win, like the AC Milan game. I generally thought they would beat AC Milan, even though AC Milan were doing very well in Serie A, but AC Milan have kind of slipped off a bit, especially when they got beat in the derby. They kind of gone down a bit. But I don't know. There's something about West Ham that I think, you could cause Man United some problems. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna go with a draw.
It's a bold shout, man.
Because they've got no Rashford as well, if I'm not mistaken, innit?
Oh, do they not?
I think Rashford, because wasn't Rashford injured against AC Milan? Sorry, before AC Milan. Sorry,
he might have been. I'm still going for United win though. I think they'll have enough. They have got a few injuries. So Cody says Man United have Pogba, Donny, Rashford, Martial, Cavani, and De Gea all out.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Ooh, that may change things. Do you know what, Matt? No, do you know what? I'm still gonna go for United 2-1 win.
Okay.
I think it'll be a very tasteless win, but I think they'll secure the points nonetheless.
I'm gonna go for a draw, but there's even a part of me that feels that after hearing those injuries, West Ham could nick it. They could nick it, bro. Don't sleep on West Ham, you know. And you know, True. Antonio will just run all game.
Yeah,
all game. He'll be a thorn in this. And listen, Lingard going back to Old Trafford as well.
Yeah, I doubt he'll be able to play.
Oh, yeah, because it's a loan, innit? They didn't buy him, so there'll be that clause.
I don't think he'll be able to play.
Because I would have liked to have seen Lingard against Man United, and I would have loved to have seen Lingard score and do some type of dance. I'd do something, innit? Just to upset the Man United faithful, innit? That would have been good to see.
That would be absolutely beautiful if that was to happen.
I'm saying
Let him do a dance.
Trust me. I'm saying 1-1, but just don't be surprised if West Ham win it. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to go 2-1 United. I think they'll get a dodgy 2-1, as they always seem to do. Next up, North London Derby. So I'll quickly read out his super chat. So Brewster did the right thing, but went to the wrong team. Yeah, fair shout. I still don't think he should have left, though, personally. Fair shout. North London Derby. Drift, start with you on this one. Arsenal versus Tottenham. What do you reckon is going to happen?
Quite a tricky one. Both teams seem to be finding a bit of form at the moment. So It's quite interesting, this one. I think both will be just as scared as each other on this one. I think if this was maybe a month ago, I think Arsenal would have been a bit scared of Tottenham. I think if it was 2 weeks ago, Tottenham would have been a bit scared of Arsenal. But now both teams seem to be playing well. So
yeah,
it's going to be about which defence makes the least mistakes, I think, on this one. I think the way Bale and Kane and Son are playing, Arsenal's defence can't handle that at all. But that's if they all click on the day. But
Andres said that Kane's injured.
he picked up an injury in the last game, but
Did he?
there's rumours though that you know how Spurs like to do the whole Kane's injured, and then before you know it, he's starting up. You saw the ice pack in it around. I think it was the knee or the thigh. Even I saw a picture. I don't know though, bro.
Okay.
It's one of them ones where
that makes it a bit different.
Mourinho mind games, isn't it? You know, after the game, Mourinho probably said something like,
thing, yeah.
"Harry Kane, right now he's probably out there." You know them ones there. With those, just tells a big pool keeper.
I'll go on the premise that he's gonna play in case it is just all mind games. Arsenal's attack is probably too good for Tottenham's defence. It's not been the greatest defence this year. They've let in a lot of goals. Have we got like a high scoring draw on our hands here? Could it be one of those like 2-2, 3-3? Could it be one of those kind of mad games? It's not far fetched, to be honest with you. Is it at the Emirates?
Yeah.
4-3 Arsenal.
4-3.
4-3. Damn.
I wanted to say 3-2, but I just want to be a little bit spicy this week, so I'm going to say 4-3.
Fair enough. Matt, what are you saying?
Arsenal in good form. I saw what they've done. No, it was against I think it was Olympiacos, was it? I think it was in midweek.
Yes, 1-3-1.
They beat them comfortably, even though Leno did a little madness. But again, I still thought they were always going to win that game. Spurs obviously won their game midweek as well. But do you want to know something? Arsenal have really picked up some confidence over these last month. And right now, if I'm being genuinely honest, I don't see them losing this game, you know. I feel like Odegaard is finally starting to settle. Saka's still being Saka, and Saka's been immense, one of the young players of the season, if not the young player of the season. Aubameyang's found a bit more form. They've even got to a point where they can even rotate Lacazette and Aubameyang, and you might first look at that at the beginning of the season and think, no, they both got to play, but they found some consistency. And Gabriel Magalhaes is back as well. He scored a very, very good goal against Liverpool. I saw the header.
Excellent header.
Bro,
Excellent header.
That was a clutch header for me. I love that. I'm actually going to say Arsenal to win it 2-1 and to upset, not even to upset Spurs, because I think people look at Spurs and think Kane, Son, a lot of people think it's a done deal and think, wow, Arsenal can't deal with that. I'm going to look at it like, as good as Tottenham can defend, I feel like they're going to have problems with Saka. I think Saka's going to be causing them problems all game, and I think it's just up for the other to dispatch the chances that he can create. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal.
When you look at the two teams on paper, you'd argue that Tottenham should win. But Tottenham against the better teams this season, or let's say the big teams, ain't been turning. They just ain't been showing up. I think apart from Arsenal and obviously the Man United hammering at the beginning of the season, they ain't really been turning up. And I just think Arsenal seem to have a hoodoo over Tottenham certain times where it's just like no matter how well Tottenham are playing or what form they're in or whatever, they just seem to just do a madness. I'm actually going to go for an Arsenal win. I actually think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet in this game.
Jeez!
I actually think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet.
If Kane and Bale and Son are all fit, I don't see how Arsenal keep a clean sheet.
I can see it happening because of the type of players they know they're coming up against. They won't be nonchalant. Like when they played against Olympiacos, they were nonchalant. The goal they gave away was stupidity and nonchalance. Yeah, they won't do that against Tottenham because they know it's a straight punishment. Yeah. So I think they will be responsible in the way they approach the game, and I think they'll win the game 2-0. I think they'll win the game 2-0.
Yeah,
Goonali's going
and
to be happy tonight.
Yeah, he is.
You know-
And don't
you
forget,
know-
yeah.
No, so no,
Yeah,
go
no, go on, bro. I was just gonna say, don't forget, if I'm not mistaken, Son's kind of gone off the boil a little bit, and I know
Yeah,
kind
he
of
has.
Bale's kind of taking his place in terms of the goal scoring. But do you want to know something? You see, Kieran Tierney, yeah. I'm expecting him to also have a big game against Bale. That's if Bale starts as well. And I know Bale's going to do the whole cut inside thing and try and create some space and shoot. But if Bale even tries to go down byline, it ain't working with Tierney, in my opinion. So
No,
yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Son is normally the danger man, especially with Kane. But I think it might be Bale. But I believe it or not, I actually think Tierney can deal with Bale to a certain degree.
Shout out to Kadir who's saying it's my birthday. Love sharing with my bros. Yeah, we gave you a little shout at the beginning, Kadir. So shout out to you on your
Happy
birthday
again, man.
Big up. Always supported the channel, so much love and thank you very much, bro. And I hope you have a fantastic day. All right, it's that time of the show, people, where you guys get to have your say. So we're going to open up the phone lines. There's a lot to talk about today, but before I do. Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, Drift, you was going to say something. Sorry, because remember, Drift, you was going to say something.
Yeah. No, I was just going to, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. We have to take into consideration that Arsenal seem to not care as much in the Premier League with their league position. So being a North London derby, maybe this will be an exception to the rule. But a couple of their Premier League games have said to me, they're resting players that they feel are important for the Europa League because that's their only way back at the Champions League. I wonder if Arteta might with Olympiacos next week. I know they've got a healthy lead, but anything can happen. And Olympiacos turned it around against them last year, if I'm not mistaken, and knocked them out in the semis. If I think it was last year or the quarters. This is the last 16, right? I think it might have been the quarters or the semis last year when Olympiacos turned around and ended up knocking them out. So he might be cautious with that in mind and maybe rest the Tierney or an Aubameyang or one of them. Like, it just come to my mind. It's a North London derby, so probably not. But I think he is very, very Europa League. That's it. That's what we need to do, Europa League. Against Man City, he put a very weakened Arsenal team out in comparison with the Europa League team. So, yeah, we'll see, innit? That's just one thing that I thought about.
I think I wouldn't necessarily say it's a weakened team. I just think he likes to rotate quite a bit, which is it's not the worst thing in the world because he has got good quality there. Like there are obviously some positions and areas where you think, goodness me, they really need to upgrade. But Saka, Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang, again, apart from Aubameyang, you wouldn't say any of them are world class, but on their day they can cause a lot of problems. So to rotate them, again, I don't know what's going on with Martinelli. I've not seen much of him recently. Don't know if he's injured or.
If you play City, Cal, when you drop Saka, Aubameyang, and Tierney, are you not saying we don't care about the league anymore? Like you got to be honest, that kind of says to me that Europa League is
I think it's a different game though because you look at. I don't think you can play an Aubameyang against City unless you're playing on the counter attack, completely on the counter attack. But even then, is he going to really do much against Diaz and Stones?
Well, he's their best player though, bro. So if you drop their
he's their best finisher, Drift. But I don't know if he's their best player.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing with Aubameyang. Unless he scores, he doesn't necessarily contribute to the game.
But
he's not like
in the FA Cup.
No, I know. No, I hear that. But again, how often can lightning strike though, bro?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I think it's a conundrum for Aubameyang. I think that's why you're seeing him more rotated now than he was before, because it's the case of if he plays and scores, then fantastic. But if he plays and he doesn't, like dare I say, it's not like a Salah and Mane. I'm not talking about Mane and Salah in particular this season, but it's not like a Salah and Mane where if they don't score in a game, you can still come away and be like, yeah, them two still did their thing today. They contributed. Whereas Aubameyang, unless he scores, it's literally like, right, he was non-existent today.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like that pretty much most of his Arsenal career. It's just because he scores a lot, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Just want to show you guys something. So, Drift, you've seen the leak kit as well. Me and Matt touched on it briefly before this. Well, when the show just started.
And I didn't think it could get worse than this.
All
That's the
right, so
Warrior one, isn't it?
I want
Yeah,
to
the
show
Warrior
you
one.
guys. I want to
Yeah,
show you
the
guys.
Warrior
something.
one.
I want to show you to see if this changes your opinion.
You man can't see it, but I'm going right to the camera, right up.
All right, here's the thing. Yeah, you're trying to they're trying to show the big man in it, and that's doing two things. A, that's making me remember Van Dijk because I forgot about him for a little while. So you're playing with me. Yeah. Secondly, the big man makes a lot of things look better than they actually are, don't he?
As
Let's
Anfield
Like on the
HB.
fence.
Anfield HB. Shout out to Anfield HB. Just said use Virgil van Dijk. He makes everything beautiful. Like
Just got a point, though. Just got a point.
That's the truth. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that kit looks horrible.
It's
But
not.
when we became Nike, yeah, and I was keeping tabs on what you guys were saying about the stuff earlier on, and I heard you guys mentioning New Balance, and this is going to be controversial, but I think maybe
sorry. Show us Simicas in it and we'll jump.
Disrespect. For real. No, you got a point, though. Do you know what they should do? They should show Ben Davis in that.
Yeah.
But it'll be a hologram. It'll just be like, it'll be all black. You just see like, you know when you get them spoofs here, where you just got the kit is floating and like there's supposed to be someone there, but there's nothing there, fam. Yeah, but I want to see Ben Davis in that thing. I want to see Ben Davis. Sorry,
But
yeah, what you saying?
other than maybe, you know, the Adidas kit that's my favorite, the Torres one, yeah.
Yeah. With a long sleeve as well.
Other than that kit there, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and you might. I know Callum is the kit connoisseur, so he might say something like, "Oh, I forgot about that one." But you see the three kits, yeah, that we got to the Champions League final and won the Premier League in that New Balance made. That's arguably the best kits we've ever had in my lifetime.
What
and
did
New Balance
we
made
say?
all three of those.
Me and Cal,
Now,
funny
if you really deep it, yeah, Nike was better for, and Cal mentioned it earlier, it was better because they've got the far reach. They're the bigger brand. They're the biggest sports brand in the world. So, like, they've got the far reach or whatever. But we thought it was going to help. Now, pandemic might have made it a little bit different. But we thought we was going to see LeBron sourcing in adverts and Serena backhanding and all that stuff. Yeah. They didn't do any of that. Like
LeBron wore it once to a basketball.
One time. That was it, yeah.
He was in the bubble and he just put it on because like.
What's crazy is that when he did that, the internet blew up.
This is the thing I was going to say, though.
But why had he done it more?
No, this is what I was going to say. You see, LeBron is very strategic.
LeBron!
He's very strategic. So when he wore that, he knew there will be headlines. The thing is, I'm expecting LeBron to do something bigger next season. And the only reason I'm going to give him not a pass, so to speak, I think it is kind of pandemic where we haven't seen adverts and things like that. Because I do think there will be adverts coming, but I just think it's a case of last season they couldn't really do it. But you see, next season, that's when I'm expecting them to kind of go a bit more ham. And I hope so. Anyway,
if that is the real kit, I don't think it's crap, as I said.
It's
but
not.
There's no way that Nike should be getting outsourced by New Balance. On no day should that ever happen. Yeah. And for me, that's what's going to happen next season. We're going to compare that to another kit, and we're going to go New Balance made a better kit. So that's 3 kits down. Right now, for me, the home kit feels beautiful, and it is better in person, and it grew on me. But it's still quite a plain kit, but it did grow on me, and you've got.
But it's a good first kit. Like it's comfy.
Anyone who's got the vapor knows it feels good, and that's what makes it better. Because I reckon if it was a stadium one only, I would not be feeling it at all. I reckon it's only the vapor one that made me like it. The third kit, that kit is beautiful. I love that kit. I know you lot aren't as big of a fan. I love that third kit.
I like it. I like it, but I don't love it. Like maybe, but saying that, maybe I need to have it and wear it, and then I can go, do you know what? Because remember, I've got the 2 training kits because I really like the training tops. Like I really like them, and even the black training one that I've got, I wish that was our kit sometimes. Like
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Away kick. Like the green. You see, like the green one. So bruv, that green one. I was like, what were they thinking?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
horrible,
know.
man.
Like
I don't know.
Tie-dye. Are we
I
hit?
don't know. Oh, I don't know.
70s?
thing
Come
look
on,
like
boys.
toothpaste. Thing look like
Look,
toothpaste, bro.
we'll get back to kits another. We'll get back to kits
Yeah,
another
definitely,
time.
definitely.
JM Kinnett says if we go on a run in the Champions League, there could be 6 clubs in the Champions League next year. No, I just think if we win it, I think 4th team get eliminated from what I gather.
No. They've changed that rule now. He's right.
Have they?
A Europa League and an English winner of both European Cups, there'll be 6 English teams. I think they've eradicated that.
Are you
It's got nothing
sure?
to do with it anymore. Yeah.
I
It's
think
got nothing to
Europa
do
does.
with it.
I don't think Europa has a bearing, but I think league position may. I double check.
I'm
thought
sure.
the
I'm sure
maximum
they
was 5.
changed it. That Europa and Champions League had nothing to do with the league anymore. Like we could have 6 teams in there. I'm sure he's right. I'm sure he's right.
I thought the maximum was 5.
If they've gone back to it, that'll be a liberty because I remember that time when Tottenham missed out on the Champions League because Chelsea won it, and that was bad, man. Like, come on, man, that was bad, man. You do all that work and then you don't get it.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And the Europa League winners get like early qualification or something, don't they?
Something.
I think so.
Cam J says, yes, boys, I've just had my first Morley's too. Come on. Morley's, if you're seeing this, we're sending a lot of people over to your shop at the moment. Like, come on now.
Come on. How did that go down, by the way?
Oh, bro, it went down like a treat, bro. Like,
you are an animal. I saw wings. I saw
2 bags of chips.
I saw 2 chips. And don't get twisted. One of those chips wasn't for the missus or for the little man.
No, it weren't.
Don't get twisted.
They were asleep, bro.
So what
they were asleep.
You ate chips as a starter, then you boxed off the meal, and then you had
Did a Jamie. Shout out to Jamie Phillips. Dinesh Karai.
I was hungry.
Only 5 teams allowed from one country. Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
But some teams are saying 6
would miss out then.
Yeah, 4th would miss out.
Oh, how beautiful would it be if that 4th place team was Chelsea after they thought they were bad?
Any 4th team, actually, I wouldn't really care. Chelsea, Everton, Man United, anyone.
Oh, if it was Everton,
for real.
If it was Everton.
All right, guys. We're going to start doing the call-ins now. What I will say to everyone who comes on tonight, so what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 minutes. We're going to let you ask your question or say your comment, and then we're going to let you come off the stream so we can get someone else in, but then we will still answer your question or comment as well, just so we can get in as many people as possible. So again, apologies. I'm going to try not to cut anyone off, but if you're going too long, I will have to stop you only because we want to get as many people in as possible. So let's get this cracking, people. The part of the show that you all love, that we all love. Let's do this. Oh, why John?
John, why? John, why? Why are you doing this? Where are you, bro?
Why John?
There he is. There he is.
I quickly went to the toilet. I didn't even know I was on, you know.
we thought you was at Anfield, bro.
Hey, big up you guys. Big up the Kopish family and that.
Big up.
So, I don't know if you caught what I said, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to let you make your comment or say your question within 2 minutes, and then we're going to ask you to come off and answer your question and then bring the next person on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice one, brother.
All right.
Floor is yours, bro.
My first question is who's your number 1 most underrated player for Liverpool?
Great question. Of all time or in the current team?
Of all time. I've got mine.
All time.
I've got mine.
We know who Drifties is.
Oh yeah, we know. We already know.
Michirigi.
Yeah.
I don't start with me, Jojo. I don't start with today, bro.
And then what's your second question, bro?
My second question is all right, so I was deep in it the last couple of days. Do you think Liverpool at the club right now still has the pedigree to like attract like decent players? Because I think we've missed our window, fam.
Fair point.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, those are my 2 questions. My
Yeah. I was going to ask what your answer was to both.
Okay, mine personally is Steve Finnan. Straight.
Shout.
That's a good shout.
That's a great shout.
That's a good
Great
shout.
shout.
See,
We
Steve
love
Finnan?
Finnan over here, so that's a good shout still.
Yeah, the guy don't get mentioned a lot, fam. I've never seen such consistency from a fullback
Facts.
in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Steve Finnan.
Yeah, he was the man. He was. That's a good shout, man. That's a good
100.
shout.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you carry on.
Yeah, big up, bro.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Big up, you
Big
guys.
up, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
that, bro.
Take it easier. Boy, great questions. Great questions
Yeah,
as
man.
always from White John.
So
He
I'll
wants to
take
go
my
first.
first out of it because you know who I'm going to say if I'm being biased.
Go on.
I'd probably say James Milner, you know. I still don't think people give him as much credit as he deserves. I think he's the Premier League's most underrated player, not even just Liverpool. I think the Premier League. If you think about his consistency in terms of performances, if you think about his fitness, and if you think about, we always use this excuse for people like Michael Owen and Wayne Rooney, who are absolute world-class legends. They were rinsed. They played too much football when they were young and rare. James Milner made his debut at 16 years old in the Premier League, and he's 35, still putting in shifts.
You wouldn't say he's ever been rinsed, though.
Yeah, but bro, he pretty much played solid football right the way through.
He has, but when you look at his career, obviously when he broke through at Leeds, like he wasn't like an automatic starter, and then I think he moved to Newcastle, and again he always plays a good amount of games, but you wouldn't say he was one of the first names on the team sheet, probably until he came to Liverpool at one stage.
Yeah, I reckon he still always played 30 games a season minimum.
Aston Villa, he was.
I was gonna say
his first name on the team
balling
sheet.
out.
I would say Villa at Newcastle, and right at the beginning of Man City's reign, he was one of their most important players. I reckon.
I'm not saying he wasn't important. I'm just saying in terms of rinse, like with Michael Owen played like bare games in it, like bare games. Like he'd play three times in a week at like the age of 19 and all that, which is he's basically what Trent is getting at. That's what Michael Owen was getting, but Michael Owen was getting that from the age of 17, 18. Yeah,
I'm gonna go and actually look at his career actually out of curiosity, because I reckon James Milner's probably. I don't know if you can do it quickly, Cal. If you can't, it's long. But actually, how many career games has Milner played? Is it Gareth Barry's the only one who played more games, right?
I think Gareth. No. I feel like Gary Speed and Ryan Giggs maybe as well.
I feel like James Milner is our most underrated player. I saw a couple of people with some really good shouts. Like I think Kop-ish is a really good shout. He was underrated. Finnan, that was definitely a good shout. He was underrated. I'm still going to go Millie, though. I think Millie's the Premier League's most underrated footballer.
Millie's got 557 appearances, but that doesn't say how many starts. But appearances 557, which is mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
That's crazy.
Always in the Premier League, always top level. Like,
no, facts.
Wonder kid. We got to remember, when he came through at Leeds at 16, just coming up 17, he was seen as like, maybe not a wonder kid like Rooney was, but there was a lot of hype around him, and he lived up to it. And look at the career he's had. He's won every single trophy in world football other than international. We don't count that because that is what it is. Like, he's won it all. Premier League winner 3 times, Champions League winner. Do you know what I mean? FA Cup. He's won it all. He's done everything there is to do in the game, and nobody will ever mention James Milner when they're talking about great footballers. And I think it's a bit of an injustice, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Milner.
Fair enough. Matt, what about yourself?
I'm leaning towards 2. Just already mentioned one of them. That's Dirk Kuyt. Dirk Kuyt for me was the unsung hero in big games a lot of the time. And what a lot of us remember anyway, is that this guy was a striker that got converted to a right midfielder, not even a right winger, a right midfielder. You see the hard work that this guy done, bruv. He run up and down all day long. He always put in a shift, and I just think because he had to convert into a position, he never got the goals that I think he would have got if he played further up the pitch. Only in emergency. No. I'll tell you why. Back then, sometimes we were playing like a 4-4-2, But with Kuyt was always that right mid. And I kind of feel like, imagine if like Kuyt was up top with like Torres, or like, because remember, there were times when Torres was playing with Voronin, like earlier. Torres was playing with like man that I think Cal better than him. And the other player I was thinking of, sorry, another two players. I know I'm taking long here. Emil Heskey, yeah, because for me, see Emil Heskey, yeah. Heskey for me was always seen as the man that just facilitated. He's just a facilitator, yeah. Emil Heskey was an absolute beast at Leicester, but because of the way how we played at Liverpool, he was told to bring the best out of Michael Owen, and I kind of felt like him having to change his game.
Did that for England as well.
Yeah, he done a lot. It done a lot for him.
Sacrificed himself.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a bit unfair. And the other player who I will always rate is Maxi Rodriguez. You see, Maxi come off the bench. He's that type of guy that will get you 2 goals. So them man there for me are. But if I had to pick one, I still think it's Dirk Kuyt. It's Dirk Kuyt / Emil Heskey. It's them two. I can't.
I just thought about Kuyt being on our bench as a replacement for Firmino to keep the system and still be able to do it. Can you imagine how saucy Kuyt would be backing up? Well, he could do everything, but he's got a better finish.
I disagree.
You don't think that Kuyt could have played that false 9? He could have done that easily.
Kuyt could have done false 9 in my opinion.
Look, hear me out. Kuyt's a better finisher than Firmino. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But in terms of that, there's a reason why Rafa didn't want him playing through the middle. Like Rafa likes techiness, isn't it? Like he likes techie. There's a reason why Kuyt won't play through the middle, because he's not as prolific as Torres, but also he didn't have the footwork of Torres. Kuyt was industrially brilliant and could pop up with big goals, but in terms of like the actual footwork to play as a number 9 or false 9 in our team, I don't think you could talk to Bobby, Salah, Mane, or Jota in terms of technical footwork.
But that's from a technical perspective. But I think, remember when we started off as like 4-4-2, then we transitioned to that 4-2-3-1. In that 4-4-2, for me, Kuyt was like the perfect striker to play alongside anybody, because he's a finisher and he's also a grafter. And I think even though he hasn't got like the sauciness or the techiness to get past the player, yeah, don't sleep on his. You see his shooting technique is so. Do you know how underrated his shooting technique is? His shooting technique was mad.
But again, you do know Kuyt did go almost a calendar year without scoring a goal, innit?
Yeah, but he was kind of playing in a 4-4-2, Cal. So like
he wasn't, bro. He's playing we're playing a 4-2-3-1, and he was playing as an inside forward. But now, granted, he worked his.
He wasn't no inside forward, fam. He was
he wasn't, bro. He wasn't.
Bro, you see the 4-2-3-1 kind that we played, yeah. That man wasn't like high. He was more like that, just like I don't know, like just gone past the halfway line. Not like in today's game where they're a lot higher up the pitch, bro. He was industrious. But remember, Rafa told him to do that.
Were asked to get the goals, Cal. He wasn't as far forward as he would have been in Klopp's 4-2-3.
Yeah, Rafa told him to do them things. I'm not saying not to score goals, but his positioning
in that team, it was mad.
Yeah.
The player I'm going to go for is Lucas Leiva.
That's a shout, man.
I actually think that Kuyt, not Finnan. I don't think Finnan gets the respect he deserves, but I think Kuyt, Milner, they are. I feel like they're loved by our fan base, but I don't think Lucas Leiva was loved until the very, very end, and he endured a really tough time. If about a year ago, I would have said Jordan Henderson, but I think now everyone actually finally realizes just how important he is to us. But for me, Lucas Leiva is one of, if not the most underrated players I've seen. And again, I know people will say like Risa, for example. Bruno just said Risa, but I think people rated Risa. Like Leiva didn't get the respect until he kind of left, or just before he left. And I remember. The problem with Lucas Leiva was he was the guy that people wanted, who people thought should have replaced Alonso. He was never the same type of player as Alonso, and he was punished because of that. But he was such a good servant, quality footballer. Emre Can's another player as well. Emre, it's just the way he left, though, isn't it? It's the way he left.
Chan done bits though. You see that bicycle kick against Watford? Shit!
And shall I tell you what is with Chan? Chan never hid in a game. I can't remember. Like, I'm not saying he played well in every game. He didn't. Far from it. But you see, when you need someone to just be like, look, I'm not hiding in this game. We're battling through. Shan was that.
Sam was that man. Still, he was.
Yeah,
Lucas
Shan was
is a
that
good shout, though. You know, we
100.
bought him. Was it Gromero or Gremio? We bought him from? And he was an
Gremio.
attacking midfielder.
Gremio.
And
He was.
Rafa turned him into a holding man, and he got the worst boos. Like, and we're not even really a fan base who do that booing stuff too tough. But Lucas got.
He got
booed.
treated like crap. It was terrible.
He got treated like a piece of And I'm with Cal. I don't think anybody truly realised how good or important Lucas was for the majority of his Liverpool career. That is a good shout still. And you know what? I just saw somebody say something, and it sounds really stupid to even think it, but it could even be true. Our captain. I still don't think people put enough respect on that man.
I said that. I think a year ago I would have said Henderson, but now people do. Shall I tell you what is Drift? The respect, you want people to look at him like how people look at Iniesta and all that. That's never going to happen. Like, remember, we've got rose-tinted glasses, innit? Like, we're Liverpool fans. We love these players to bits. So we are going to sometimes overrate players. But in terms of actual
you're not
underrated...
overrating him, though, Cal.
No, I'm talking... No, I think there are some sections of the fan base that overrate him, though.
I don't.
But
I mean,
I do think the guy's quality.
Then all power to it. Hendo is a superb footballer, man. I don't care if he ain't as tacky as Ronaldinho or whatever. He's a superb footballer, man.
He's harshly dealt with. Lee Chappie, shout out to Lee Chappie. Go and follow Lee Chappie if you don't already. Probably the best Leicester fan channel out there, so make sure you go and check him out. And why John's second question before we get the next caller on: can we still attract players this summer? I'm going to quick answer. Yes, we can.
League, it'll be very, very.
I think we
disagree.
can.
If we don't get Europa, I think we can. If we get Europa, I think it'll be more difficult.
I think we can, only because of Jurgen Klopp. I think he's the mainstay. For me, he's the key component. He's key. He is key.
So you think an Mbappe or a Lautaro or any of those guys are coming to play with absolutely no European football, and we finish like 10th, so they're like last season.
I think no. What I'm saying is this: a lot of it depends on where you finish, but I still think it's about the manager being able to sell the project as well. And I think because we got Jurgen Klopp, and he can say, "Listen, guys, I could be wrong here, but he could say, listen, we're out of it for 1 year, but we're going to go ham for the Premier League, and you'll be back in European football next season." Because I think all things considered, hopefully we don't have no mad craziness next season. But if we go full strength next season, along with some key additions, we'll be a force next season, isn't it? It's just a matter of selling that project and whether that player can believe. But I think Klopp is, for me, it's about Klopp. Obviously, European football is a major factor, like major. But the buck.
I don't think the Klopp factor matters without Europe if we're not willing to give players wages.
But that's not what I'm saying. So we have a pool, but it's whether the owners back that up. I think that's what.
And that's why I think it won't, because the owners won't. Without European football, the owners aren't going to give someone 200 grand a week. Come on, man. We've got to be honest, man. They're not.
We'll have to cross that bridge. We're going to get the next caller in now. A very familiar face. Shout out to Conroy. How you doing, bro?
Going on, bro?
Good, guys. How are
What's
we?
going on, Conroy?
Doing good.
Not
Friday
too
night.
bad, brother.
Here we go.
Good,
Fridays. Here we go.
Good, man. Only place to be on a Friday, bro.
100%. Got the can. Good to go.
All right. Yes.
No, but I know, guys. I'll be quick. Cheers to you. But I know busy show as usual. But I just wanted to ask a few questions. First one was, what do you think? Who's all three of your best management achievement in a single season? So before he's get into it, I know people would say the best manager is Fergie. That's not my question. I mean, in a single season, for me, I've said this before, I always think it's Mourinho at Inter. I think that was an unbelievable achievement. It made Diego Milito one of the top strikers in the league that year. Schneider was a great player anyway, but just winning the treble with them, I think actually gets forgotten about sometimes too often. So that was mine. That was an example of that. The other question is, with Steven Gerrard winning the league at Rangers, and Cal knows I've said that before, that's probably legendary status. And another one that annoys me more, Gareth Bale at Real Madrid, because I would say he's clearly a Real Madrid legend, and I can back that up as well. But how would you define a legend? Because the Bale thing is quite simple. Like, he's won double the amount of trophies Zidane won as a player. He's turned up in the big matches, so you can't even say that. Copa del Rey final, La Decima, which everyone talks about now, is actually through Gareth Bale scoring against Atletico Madrid. The only one he didn't really turn up in was the one at Cardiff, ironically, the final there. But in the 0-0, he scored his penalty. He was quite good in that game against Atletico. And obviously against Liverpool, scored the best goal I've ever seen in my life. So for me, he is clearly a legend. So it's just to ask, what do you define as a legend for a club? And so those were the two questions. And that was it. I was going to ask you another one, but I'll save that for another time.
You sure?
Well, the last one was...
Go on.
It's no, but sometimes, Cal, with these questions, it's like it's not easy to answer. But the other one I was going to ask is the Chris Wilder thing. I don't know. Chris Wilder possibly may have stepped down. I think they're saying officially he's mentioned it earlier. But say he was sacked, because there's loads of cases like that where they do sack managers, recency bias. My question would be, how do you feel about that? And do you feel like football fans nowadays are losing sight of like patience could actually be rewarded? Gerrard's a good example of that. Daniel Farke is a good example of that, brought them back up. So it's just to get your take on that. And I think I know why fans are like that, but do you think it's always the best to be so reactive? Because Farke is the best example. I think people sleep on Farke far too much. That's a great achievement again, especially with the amount of money and players that were already in the Championship this year. So that was my free question, guys. Have a good one. And
thank you, brother.
Good to see you. All right. Take care, guys.
Pleasure, bro. Take it easy, bro.
Which one was going to start with?
Conrad always comes with the top questions, man.
Trust.
You know, while it's fresh in my mind, let's just start quickly with that last one about...
I've got them all written down, so it's up to you guys which one you want to start
just quickly. Do you know what I think the problem is with the manager thing, yeah? And I think we all suffer from this and we all act like we don't care, but we all do. And it's always a front, yeah? Always a front. We care about the banter from everyone else. And we care about it too much. Even if we don't want to admit it, we do. When Liverpool lose a football match, we're annoyed. We're very annoyed within ourselves because we want to win a game. But let's be honest, you just hate what everyone else is going to talk about your team. You hate the smack that everyone else is going to give your team.
I'll be honest, Drift. Me personally, I've become numb to it. It doesn't affect me.
No, you have. But let me give you an example, yeah? In 2005, when we won the Champions League, yeah, we were all much younger men, yeah? Much younger men back then, yeah? Teenager settings and all that. But back then, yeah, when you really deep it, Liverpool were actually quite poor that season. It was the Champions League that really made that season feel phenomenal. We were poor that season, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
If you imagine social media was around that year, yeah, can you imagine how much more pressure Rafa would have been on? How crap we were in the league. I know we were playing well in Europe, but because I think social media puts way too much pressure on footballers in general. And if you think about because the thing is, social media wasn't even that big of a deal in 2013-14 when we nearly won the league. I know that sounds a bit silly, but even back then, it wasn't really that much of a big deal.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? So if you really think about the difference of the last couple of years when Twitter and all that has just really just gone into the stratosphere and channels like us have become around and whatnot. I feel like it's the other fans and what they're going to say and that pressure from the social media element on the clubs that makes things the way they are. And I think 10, 15 years ago, managers don't get sacked as readily because there's not as much pressure because the owners don't hear as much what we've got to say. Let's be honest, now they hear what we've got to say on a 24-hour day basis. They never had that before. And I think it plays into what they do and how they run things. So for me, I think social media is one of the main reasons why managers don't get as long as they should, why the pressure is higher, and why we care more about time. We want to give people time, but we don't want to be the laughing stock. Whereas before, you didn't know if anyone was laughing at you. Let's be honest, apart from at school, you didn't even know if someone was laughing at your club. Now, we see it just scattered across the whole world. Yeah. Look how crap you are, everybody, whatever. So, in my opinion, I think that's why managers get less time, and us as fans can't take losing as much as maybe we could back in the day.
I think all fans are reactionary now. I think
Yeah,
all fans are. Some less than others, but I think every fan's reactionary.
Yeah, do you know what? I think Gift has a point in terms of, you know, social media is a massive factor in today's game because social media don't sleep in it. The internet is undefeated. So whether clubs will admit that or not, clubs do look at social media. They have social media, you know, people working for them so they can see what that outlet looks like for their club. So they can get that feedback. They will never admit it, but that's what they're there for. They're just keeping an eye on what's going on in terms of how the world feels about the club that they are running. Another thing I think is a major factor, and I don't know if Drift mentioned it, is money. There's so much money in today's game that teams press the panic button way too early because they're thinking about, we're going to lose all this money. Like, we've got to make a change now. Whereas back then, obviously, there's always been money in football. But in today's game, listen, let's look at wages. Let's look at transfer fees. Like, it's been blown apart. There's so much money now when you win things. I think teams, you know, they make that judgment call a bit too early because they're so worried about the financial implications. So I think it's a mixture of social media personally, and I think it's a mixture of money. And I think money is so money. Yeah, bro. Because like, let's be real. Yeah? No one will agree if Jurgen Klopp was to ever get sacked. Yeah, there'll be a massive outrage. There'll be massive outrage. But FSG will be thinking, well, you know, we've cut off Klopp. His wages. Remember, because Klopp's one of the highest paid managers in the Premier League as well. Yeah? Now they're going to be thinking, all they're going to be thinking about is money, and that's what will really hurt me. They're going to be thinking, well, we're not in Champions League. The sponsorship deals don't want nothing to do with us anymore, or they don't want as big as what they used to do. So let's save some money. Let's do this. Let's squash things down a bit. Let's condense things, and I don't like that. And that's what I think is happening in football.
You know what?
The money aspect
about them. So just
no. Go on.
You see Nat Phillips. All jokes aside, he's been really good since he come in. But if you think about the fact that he's on 65 grand a week, yeah, how you got to deep how much money has changed the game is that all of our legends, and I mean our real legends, I mean our Thompsons, Hansons, Barnes, Kenny. I'm talking the real legends. I'm talking the best players we've ever had at the club. Even though we didn't watch them, we know those are the best players. Maybe bar Stevie and Suarez and a few, yeah? Those are the best man. Nat Phillips has made more money in a career at Liverpool that hasn't even really existed, to be fair, than them man were making, and they're legend.
It's different though, Drift, because you got to factor in what it was like, the cost for living back then and cost of living now and all those things.
I agree, bro. But if you still deep it, like, even if you like analyze it and you break it down to what and John Barnes and Kenny Dalglish and them, man, didn't even make 65 grand a week of whatever the equivalent would have been at that time.
No, John Barnes, I believe, did towards the end of his career. But remember, when these players came in, they were the highest. They were the highest paid players when they were coming in. Though it's just it sounds like taking money now.
But I don't know, man.
It's hard
to think that Nat Phillips has made more money in his short Liverpool career than our legends have. Even if you work out the difference of, like, you know, interest rate,
inflation and all that stuff.
It's crazy. Money. You're right, bro. Money is massively important.
Money is a massively important factor. I'm telling you, money and social media, bro. For me, those are the two aspects. Massive.
I hear you. All right, defining a legend. All right, Drift, I'm going to go with you first because we've had a few debates about this in the past.
Me personally, I know you lot are going to say there is cult hero and there is legend, but I think when you leave the club, when people think of you, it's with the fondest memories of moments that made that club write something in their history. I think that technically makes you a legend. Now, again, cult hero can be put into that same category because I don't think, for example, when Man United beat us to the 08-09 season, he had that moment against Aston Villa that won Man United the league. And he is Makeda, and he is absolutely nowhere even near anything to Man U. Man U couldn't even give two craps about him. Fans, nobody. But he had that moment. So I don't want to exaggerate and just make any moment makes you a legend. But I feel like if you played a significant part in a club's history, then I think that you can be considered a legend. If there's an argument for it, fair enough. But
I know where you're going.
fondest memories. Like, for example, I'm not even going to use who you lot think I'm going to. Let me use somebody like Vladimir Smicha or Patrick Berger or people like that or Luis Garcia. They might not go and sit down at the same table as your Gerrards and your Keegans. But if I'm being honest with you, Vladimir Smicha, if someone wants to call him a Liverpool legend, I'm all right with that. If someone wants to call Luis Garcia a Liverpool legend, I'm all right with that. I'm not even going to say to you I agree with it, but I'm all right with it. So I think it's about fond memories of massive moments of defining parts of your club's history, and that player was a part of it. And I know this sounds like I'm moving the goalpost, but I feel like just like with world class, and there's levels to this, I think with legends, there's levels to this. I think Emil Heskey is a Liverpool legend. Emil Heskey ain't on the level of Fernando Torres. But if you said to me that Emil Heskey is a Liverpool legend, I'll say, why not? So
Torres isn't a Liverpool legend for me, though.
I was going to say,
for me,
you don't think Torres is a Liverpool legend?
Not for me, no.
Raw.
All right. Let me say something.
Fair enough.
All right, Drift. All right, this is how I look at it. Longevity, consistency, being a part of something, winning trophies. Those are some key factors, in my opinion, to be perceived as a legend. And you have to have done something.
Is James a legend, guys?
No.
No, it probably isn't. For me, it goes on as maybe like a cult hero. Because again, the reason why in my opinion, why we use the term legend.
Sorry, someone's called me out still.
Alright, don't say nothing because Emil watches the show. Big up Emil still. Yeah. Emil's our guy still. Emil, you know what time it is. I'll say this, yeah. There's a reason why we use the term legends, because legend separates yourself from everybody else. You're like an icon. A legend is an icon of that football club. And in my opinion, players like Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush, Steven Gerrard, Kenny Keegan, those are legends because what they've done for the club, a lot of them transformed the club. They're part of a foundation in each part of their areas as well. And they've done amazing things for the club. When you look at people like Patrick Berger, dare I say, even like I use your guy, Cal. Drift, like Divock Origi, yeah? Divock Origi is someone who I see as you might let me then.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Matt. I know exactly.
Divock Origi is someone who you might love or you might hate. But you want to know something? He turned up in big games and he was a part of something special. But because Divock Origi never done it on a consistent basis, yeah, I can't sit there and say, well, there's levels to this. So I'm going to call you Legend B or Legend C. Because in my opinion, there's no tiers for legend. When you're a legend, you're just a legend. You're an icon. And I think after that, there becomes cult heroes where you've done something special. Because for me, Dirk Kuyt is a cult hero. He's not a Liverpool legend. He's a cult hero, in my opinion.
That's fair enough. But I think icon and legend are different, bro. I think icon is above a legend. I think icon is somebody who's just so big that they're just in that, like, that's the Kevin Keegan.
A legend is an icon.
That's the Steven Gerrard. That's the John Barnes. They're icons, bro.
No, but they're legends.
Above a legend.
No, but for me, they're legends because when you're a legend, bro, you're an icon. Or you're an icon.
No, if you're an icon, you're a legend.
Yeah.
But if you're a legend,
yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think we throw out the word legend too easy. I'm not gonna lie, like for me
but
personally,
this is what I'm trying to say. I don't
even the whole Torres thing. Like, how long was Torres at Liverpool for?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. He's not. I hate to say it, he's not a legend. You know, I say.
He had 2 great seasons.
I hate it, but
and his last season with us wasn't phenomenal, and his last half a season wasn't phenomenal.
He's a cult hero.
So because he had 2 great seasons with us, can we does he get a legendary status? We didn't win any trophies. Again, that's not on him. But I can't sit here and say Torres is at the same table as a Gerrard, who for about 8-9 years was one of the best players in world football.
But that's because Gerrard's an icon, Cal. So he's a legend. For me, legends.
No, but for me, legends the top. Legends
as
high
as the top. Yeah, you can't get higher than a legend.
Icon is the top, but fair enough.
For me, legends the top. Like
Same, yeah.
like I think there's a difference between great players and also legendary moments. Like Origi's had legendary moments, but no way.
Suarez a legend.
No.
No, he's not.
No, because I have to look at the big picture. Man bit someone and was racist to someone else.
No. Here's what I'm saying though, yeah. If you go through the list of players who've played, performed, and done their thing regardless of trophies, Torres and Suarez are probably in the top 10. If you turn around and
Liverpool all time.
Well,
Suarez maybe. I don't think Torres
definitely the last 30 years.
Suarez has more of a case than Torres, though, because Suarez done more than what Torres done, even in that space of time, you know.
I feel like people are thinking that based on as an individual he was a better player, but we came just as close with Torres and Gerrard as we did. Like when you really think about it,
we also had Alonso, Mascherano.
But we can't keep moving the goalposts though. Like,
but Torres played.
You have to take that into consideration, bro.
Yeah. Because listen, they're both
like Suarez for me can play in any Liverpool team and elevate that team. I don't think you could say the same about Torres.
No, Prime Torres could. 100%.
Not saying he couldn't improve the team drift, but elevate is different.
No. Prime Torres was doing what was doing the elevate. He wasn't as much of a one-man wrecking machine like Suarez was. But we're just talking about ability. Prime Torres can talk to Prime Suarez just on effectiveness and elevation of a team. Now, I think people are forgetting just how good Torres was.
No. Torres was sick.
Suarez was getting the ball bounced in the centre circle and then whacking it, bruv, and saying, John, take that.
But that's because they were different types of a player. It's
just better. Dare I say it? It's hard for me to judge. You see Torres. No, Jake, let me say something. Torres is the guy that, on a personal note, I like more for the way how he carried himself and what he and not even that. Yeah, when I think about some of our best Liverpool teams, I can't sit here and lie to you and say, fam, when we had Gerrard, Mascherano, Alonso, Torres, them days there, I just loved it. I never wanted it to stop. Yeah, but you see Suarez, Suarez has done some nasty stuff. But if we're talking about ability-wise, I'm going to be real. Torres had great ability, but Suarez's ability was out of this world. Like, I'm going to be real, Drift. His ability, in my opinion, is like second to none when it comes to even players at Liverpool. Like, his ability, bro, was stupid. And I know I'll give you an example, Drift. You see some of the goals that he used to score. I know it's against Norwich, but you see like the caliber of goals, like
assists. Let's not sleep on the assists.
Yeah, and again, dare I say it, we never used to like it as a club when in the 13-14 season, where people used to say you're just Suarez FC, because we wasn't. We had Daniel Sturridge who got 24 goals in that season. We had a young Phil Coutinho and we had a young Raheem Sterling that were also chipping in. But I'm gonna be real. You see Suarez, we all know. We sat down and we said, if Suarez is playing, we're probably winning the game. He was a one-man wrecking machine. No one liked playing against him.
Listen,
and I know
I get all of that. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm just I'm just trying to think about comparisons with, like, I don't know, like maybe Tevez is maybe someone who's maybe like similar to Suarez, as in like he was like a wrecking machine and he could, like, his variation to his game was like amazing. And then you have somebody like, I don't know, like Berbatov, who's maybe like similar to Torres, where like in front of the goal was just a killer, but he didn't do all that running around and, you know, he didn't have that like mad energy or whatever. Like, I get what you lot are saying, but I still don't feel like you can downplay the guy who didn't do all of the madness when you're just picking out the big moments still and just thinking, yes, Suarez did a madness against Norwich and it was heavy to watch, but Norwich are just Norwich. When you look at big games in that season, and again, I'm not trying to downplay Suarez at all, but if we're looking at big matches, Torres is definitely equal to Suarez in terms of big game. We need you, turn up in this game. Like, maybe he didn't bully the small teams like Suarez used to, but he's talking big moments.
That's a good
like,
point.
We need you today, bro. Big game.
Torres turned up.
Do?
I agree.
Torres turned up way more, maybe even.
But here's the thing:
in them moments,
not way more.
Do you know what it is, though, Drift?
We're in Champions League, Cal, when Torres is doing this thing, bro. Like, Suarez only.
That's my point. That's my point. Suarez was probably in the worst Liverpool's team we've seen in our lifetime and almost won us a league, bro.
That's facts. That's facts. I agree with that.
Like,
but I still can't take away what Torres was doing against Marseille and Real Madrid just because Suarez didn't get a chance to do it.
No. You're right. But do you know what? Do you know how I look at it? You see that season, we had Victor Moses, and can you remember who our left back was? I know Carl remembers. Do you remember who the left back was, bro?
Ali Sissoko and John Flanagan.
Do you know what my man had to do to score a goal with a header when Ali Sissoko hit the ball and it ricocheted and he scored a header from outside the box?
That Brendan Rodgers team wasn't as good as Rafa's team, but it was still a good team.
Good attacking
wise. Glenn Johnson, Flanagan, that defense, fam. Ali Sissoko.
All I'm saying is, I totally hear what you lot are saying. Suarez was just mad. And I know we've gone on a tangent here, so apologies, guys. I know but when you're talking about big moments in Liverpool history, I think Torres has got more. I just do. I just do. Like, maybe
you know
maybe it's close, but I just feel like I just remember Torres getting the ball on the edge of the box against Arsenal, Champions League quarter-final, and just spinning Senderos and packing it in the top corner. I remember him giving the most nightmares to Vidic and Rio you've ever seen in your life over about a 3-year span. Like, I'm just thinking about Torres, and I'm just thinking, when you're talking about big moments, that boy, Real Madrid, do you remember how he moved to Real Madrid?
Of course.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, innit? I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but
no. Look, I'm not sitting there saying
Torres,
that Torres wasn't great. For me, it's like the whole elite thing again. Without going off on a tangent, like, for me to be called a legend, you got to come with a lot to the table. You can't just come to me and say I scored in a Champions League final or Champions League semi-final. That makes me a legend. That ain't enough for me. Can't come to me and say I only did it. I was great for 2 years. I gotta be like, nah, you gotta come more than that. There's got to be more to it, or else everyone's pretty much got 10s and 20 people who are legends of their clubs. Legends should be an elite status.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's a certain pedigree that you have to have, and unless you've got it all, in my opinion, you can't be considered a legend. But I understand what you're saying, because when you deep it, Fernando Torres at Liverpool was sensational, but in my opinion, what Suarez done was even more impactful, as the reason why I'd even say he has more of an argument, even though I still think it's even questionable, is Suarez a Liverpool legend? I just think we get carried away with the moments. It's a debate to be had. They're both definitely cult heroes. Whether you want to put Suarez as a legend or not, I don't know.
I'd have Torres above cult hero. I'd have him as one of our better players to play down the years. Cult heroes for me, someone who, and again, this is not even me shading, but someone like an Origi who's not been great for us over the term that he's been.
He's better than them, man. But what I mean is,
he's had some amazing moments.
But you see, when I think of legend, Carl, we are talking the best of the best that people have done it for a sustained period, as you said. Like, I love Torres, but can we sit there and say Torres done it as long as Fowler?
No, he didn't. He didn't. That's what I'm saying.
Did he do it as long as Keegan and them, man? He didn't.
And Owen, he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
No, he didn't, guys. He didn't. But for me, he's still top 10 strikers to play for Liverpool. Definitely Premier League era. So for me, he's a Liverpool legend. But I'm willing to accept what you lot say, and I'm not going to argue this. I'm not acting like what I'm saying is fact or whatever. Like, I think maybe legend is about what you feel. Maybe it is one of them things that's about how you feel. For me, Torres is a Liverpool legend. Torres is my favourite Liverpool player, bar Steven Gerrard of all time. Questionably Barnes, because I've got that affiliation with Barnes from being a kid. But Torres to me is just different. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different. So maybe I'm biased, man. To me, Torres is a Liverpool legend, 100%.
Fair enough.
But I'm willing to accept what you lot are saying. Innit? Like, I get what you lot are coming from.
That's fair. That's fair.
Couple of super chats. Himanshu, Ayo Berber had mad tech, and he didn't need to run a lot. Very true. Berbatov, one of the most technically gifted players you've seen.
When he was at Spurs. When he was at Spurs,
one of the best, definitely. Promo, Torres was a great finisher. However, there were games when his first touch on the ball decided if he was turning or not. Proper confidence player. I agree with that.
So were most, though. I can't lie. So were most.
Yeah. And Conroy's last question, we'll quickly answer this so we can get our next caller on. best management season achievement wise. Conor obviously said Mourinho at that Milan team. For me, I'm going to go Ranieri at Leicester.
Oh, that's a shout.
That is, you know.
You know what?
There's so many though.
I've forgotten his name. Why have I forgotten his name? The guy who Pep took over from at Bayern.
Jupp Heynckes.
Heynckes. That trouble-winning season for Bayern Munich.
Mad thing, innit?
And then the man I just said prior to that, when Guardiola won 6 trophies in one season.
I was gonna say,
he won
Pep, bro.
6 trophies in one season, you lot.
Bro, he cleaned up. Is there a better season than what Pep did when he cleaned up with that team
Possibly
as well?
not.
And the style of football.
Let's be honest, whether you want to say he had Messi or not, that is the best individual season you will ever see from club football. Period. The football, the achievements, the enjoyment to watch, everything about that season was absolutely sensational.
Bro, I think Pep, you know, it might be. I think it was 2009.
Trophy season. What was that? Oh, was that 10-11?
I think was it 09 or 10?
Yeah,
whatever that season was.
Bro, you see 09, yeah? Fab, bro, different. It's just
crazy,
different.
Yeah. Different.
That man were walking on water. It was different, bro.
No, for real.
Shall I tell you why I still edge Ranieri though? Only because you look at Pep, and again, I don't want this to come across like I'm underplaying or downplaying Pep's achievement because that was phenomenal. But Leicester had no right to win the league. Like they really had no
no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
And they won it comfortably.
But have you ever seen a manager that's won 7 trophies and done the same way, and no one could figure them out? And don't get me wrong, they had Henry, they had Etu, they had flipping Messi and whatever. And that, when you think about it, that's fake.
No,
innit?
Matt, I can't out jab you, innit? When it comes to this, I can't out jab you. You've got reach, you've got technique, you've got everything. Like when it comes to that Pep season, it is crazy. Like,
bro, it's mad. And
did Messi get something like 91 goals in a year,
bro,
calendar year?
I think he got 70 in club football and about over.
No, I think it was 91 in for Barca.
Yeah,
in one calendar year.
No.
That is crazy.
You saw that went internationals as well.
No, I think it was just
Barca.
From January to January. I think he got 91 goals.
No,
Lord have mercy.
Bro, think about that for a sec. That's every time you're going out to the pitch, you're basically starting. You know when you turn up a Power League late and the other team gets a 2-0 head start? That's basically what Messi was doing. It was basically like, what's the score?
It's
3-0. It's 3-0. But they've only scored 1 goal. No, Messi got 2 before the game started.
Messi an alien, fam. He's an alien. Because when you just like reminded me of, obviously the 91 goals that's you'll never see that again, you know, ever. Like that's
we say that
stuff.
We say that. Haaland may argue that in the future, still the way he's going.
That's true.
Yeah, they said if he was to continue his career at the trajectory he's already been on, he'll have more goals than anybody ever by the time he finishes.
That's mad.
Mad. That is mad. I can't even.
And you know what? Before we move on, because we did spend a lot on this.
He's not even in his final form yet either.
Special shout out to
Freezer.
Klopp overthrowing Bayern and doing the back-to-back with Dortmund, and Rafa doing the Valencia overthrowing Barcelona and Real Madrid. I think those achievements can be looked at the same way Ranieri can, as in they were better teams, but they should not have been able to do what they did in the moments they did them based on players they bought, how much money they had, and all that. So,
no, I agree.
All right, I know we got to move. What about Porto? Or did you say that already?
No, we haven't.
No,
Porto,
that's a
remember,
shout.
Bro,
Yeah, when he won the league and the Champions League, that is a shout.
Porto Mourinho. I forgot about them, man.
That was a poor Champions League that season, but he still won it. So that's a shout.
He had no right to win that at all, bro.
Monaco Porto, that's a mad final.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Back on the show, all the way from Dubai.
The man then came in clutch. For you, hey, come on, you man. Listen, I know Spurs are above you, so as I said, I've spoken to the boys. I'm gonna make sure you lot are above Spurs by the end of the weekend. So don't worry about that. We'll move on. I've got a question for you, man. This is totally kind of off topic because my friend he was Scottish, so this is more international. So I'm not. Okay. I don't support England. Let's say we know that already Sterling and Kane are already on a plane to go to the World Cup. Now, this is a long list, so I might read it out twice for you. So
I'll write it down. So go for it, bro. I'll write it down.
Put Kane, we put Sterling on the plane. Who you taking out of Saka, Foden, Sancho, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Bamford, Grealish, Maddison, Emil Rose-Smith, potentially, Ollie Watkins, Hudson-Odoi, Harvey Barnes, Greenwood, Mount.
Yeah, you're gonna have to read that list. You're gonna have to read the list twice.
Are we gonna pick one?
No. So let's say there's about 10 players for all of these positions, isn't it? Because there's like 4 forwards, and then the rest of them are like attack number 10s or wingers.
Yeah.
So out of these, so I'll start again. So Saka, Foden, Sancho, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Bamford, Grealish, Maddison, Emil Rose-Smith, Ollie Watkins, Hudson-Odoi, Harvey Barnes, Greenwood, Mason Mount, Jesse Lingard, he's been mad. Abraham, he's a bit dead. Danny Ings. And I thought Banks and shit because I know you man love Banks and Banks all the time. So Curtis Jones.
Hold on, you missed the name there. Rashford as well.
Yeah, I can say Rashford.
Rashford is dead, man. Leave him to do his gymnastics, man. Diving on the floor.
Diving on the floor.
Stop Rashford. But yeah, if you want to include Rashford as well. Yeah, I forgot about Rashford, to be honest. Yeah, that was a bit of shade as well. Let's say we know Kane. We know Sterling, they're already on the plane. Flyboys, they're already gone. There's 10 positions, including obviously them 2. So there's another 8. Who are you taking out of all of them?
That's going to need a lot of deliberation. So that's a big question.
Yeah, that's a sick question, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Bro.
I know it's going to take a bit of time. Always love and support.
Man. Brother. Come on now.
And listen, as I said, I've spoken to the boys. Please, and you know what? Actually, make sure you beat Wolves because they did us dirty. But man, you
can't rely on us for shit, bro.
No, hey, listen. What's his name? Kabak, man. Kabak be like them turkey hams out here, but you be crazy. I think Kabak's gonna hold it up for me because I need Wolves, bro. But listen, next week, same thing. We move.
Big up, bro. Big
up, bro. Enough love, my brother.
Cool.
Big up. You know what? Yeah, I know because he played for Man United, I shouldn't really say this, but
that's a list and a whole.
That list, is
flame. Hold on. Just say that again.
I think Rashford should be on the plane before Sterling. You can come at me if you want. Listen, because he played for Man United, I've kept the blinkers on for a long time. I've got to be honest. I've kept the blinkers on for a long time. I know Rashford is inconsistent. But Rashford is the player in the England team, in my opinion, that just has that little bit of something different. That means that he is just as important as Harry Kane. That's just my opinion.
Oh, no. I've got to stop you there.
Listen, I hate to say it because he played for Man United. And I know he's inconsistent. But you know what? If you're talking about tournament football, if you want me to name my front 3, Rashford's in there.
Oh, no, not for me.
I've got to be honest. Rashford's in there. I'll play Rashford over Sterling for England.
But just as important as Kane.
Kane is obviously the top level of importance for England, yeah?
What I just said?
I would say Rashford is the next one down.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
If you're picking an England front 3,
yeah,
and somebody said to you, for whatever world we're living in, it's Sterling versus Rashford for the one you're picking, I'll pick Rashford. I would pick. You see what? You know, my England front 3 would probably be Grealish on the left, Rashford on the right, Kane through the middle.
No, definitely not Rashford on the right.
Swap it around then. Play Grealish on the
Rashford.
right and put Rashford
Nah,
on the
Grealish
left.
don't work on the
all
right.
Grealish is a cut-in
Whichever way you
merchant.
want, that's the front three. All right, put Grealish in the number 10 and put Sancho out wide. I'm
Nah.
kind of leaving Sterling out of my team over quite a few of those players. That's just my opinion, but
Over
Yeah.
a few players.
over some of these players, yeah,
Go
Who
on,
you
name me
picking
a
over?
couple more.
Who are you picking over Sterling?
the ones I just named, I put Sancho over Sterling, and I would put Rashford over Sterling.
But you don't rate Sancho, bro.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, sorry,
but-
no, I take that back. You don't rate Sancho that highly. So
But
that
for
means you,
England, I don't see Sterling perform the way he does for Man City. When it comes to Man City, Sterling is doing his thing.
Bro,
in the
Sterling
England team-
regularly gets goals for England, bro.
No, I'm not just talking about goals though, bro. I'm talking about like if we're in a semi-final against like Brazil or something in the World Cup, Sterling ain't turning up. He's not, man. I've seen too many.
What?
I've seen too much evidence.
On
No,
what
no,
basis
Sterling.
are you saying this though, bro?
Sterling turning up, bro.
Tournament football and Sterling for England don't go well.
But how many
I've got
tournaments has he
evidence.
played, bro?
What are you talking about? I've got evidence of it.
But all right. So back in the day, would you have dropped Rooney for England?
Well, please, we're not going to compare Sterling and Rooney.
No,
bro.
no. I'm just answer the question, bro. Would you have dropped Rooney?
No, but Rooney for England is completely different to Sterling.
No, Rooney didn't turn up at tournaments, bro, apart from Euro
But he
2004.
was injured most of them.
No, he wasn't, bro.
No, bro,
No, he wasn't.
I'm sure Rooney was injured for 3 major
He was
tournaments
injured.
in a
He
row.
was in. He went in injured, I think, to maybe 2006.
No,
maybe.
I think he was injured going into most tournaments, Cal.
No, he weren't, bro. He just played poor in tournaments.
I'm saying tournament football and Sterling for England, we've got evidence it's not really that good.
But all right, but bro, who in this current crop can you say has got evidence that they're great in tournaments?
No, but I'm gonna go with like he's had that chance and didn't really do well. I'm gonna give someone else a chance. That's just me. Listen, you know that you have to agree with me.
No,
I'm not saying it's fact.
No, I'm not saying that.
Sterling off the bench, impact player. I'm going Sancho, Rashford, Kane. That's what I would do. Grealish in behind. Sterling ain't making my first 11.
What are you saying, Matt?
For me, Sterling is too good to be on the bench. I know in tournament football, he ain't been the greatest, I'll be real. But in terms of what he adds to the game, he adds a fear factor because he's one of the players in our team, in the England team, that can dribble at high speed and cause problems. Whether he gets the goal or not, that's not a thing. And obviously, when it comes to Man City, it's about the system that he caters for that can bring the best out of Sterling, and we don't do that. So it's more of a case of what can you do. But I'm gonna be real though, Sterling can still do his thing, you know. Like I think if you're basing it on form or whatever over the last couple of years, you'd have to say the front three by default. Front three would have to be Kane, Sterling, and Rashford by default. How you fit them, I don't know. Whether you play a 3 or whether you play one Sterling behind the 2 or whatever, but I think Sterling, in my opinion, has got enough stuff in the bank, even at club level, to suggest that he's going to have a tournament where surely he has a good one in it. Because we can't sit here and act like Sancho and Rashford have just been banging in tournaments. They haven't.
No, they haven't. They haven't. That's not what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? No. I'm just saying though. But I'm just saying.
Based on, all right, let me just ask you a lot quickly. And again, this is just my opinion. You lot don't have to agree. 89th minute, World Cup semi-final. We're playing Argentina. It's 0-0. Yeah? Grealish plays a beautiful through ball. Sterling, he's in on goal. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Or Rashford, he's played him in. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Be honest. Which one of those players do you think is going to win?
No, but that's because Rashford is a better finisher. Because he's more striker
Which
mode.
one of those two is winning us the game?
No.
Probably Rashford, but all right. But
Okay,
here's
so that's
No, but you're talking about a finisher. That's just a finisher.
No, because that's just one element of a game. So all
I
right,
was going to
here's one
say,
then,
you
Drift.
can't just...
Here's one then, Drift. All right, let's say Naby Keita, through ball to Salah, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or Naby Keita, through ball to Salah. Sorry, through ball to Origi, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Who are you backing in that?
That's a tough one.
All right, let's say Firmino and Origi. Who you backing to score?
Oh, then I'll back Origi.
All right, but you wouldn't start Origi over Firmino if everyone's at their best, would you?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Oh, Drift, come on, man. You are. Come on, brother. You know.
Are we
but that's my point. Just because,
best, or are we talking about when they're at their peak best?
I'm just saying you can't judge a player starting over another because of a potential moment in a game. Like
You
overall, I think
football, Cal.
I don't think you can, Drift.
Because in tournament football, there's very few moments, and you need a man to take it when it comes, bro.
Yeah,
but Rashford's not as clinical. Rashford's not as clinical as people make out.
No, but here's the thing: Sterling will. You see my opinion. You see in 90 minutes, yeah. For me, Sterling will cause more havoc in a game. I think he'll create more opportunities, in my opinion. But Rashford is just a better finisher. He's more of a striker mode. They're different players, though. We've known from days Sterling's never been a great finisher. That's when you think of finishing, you're never going to put Sterling there. But what other things he does well, bro? He creates space for others, and the runs that he creates
for others in an England setup. Though. Stop thinking about how he plays for City.
Yeah, he does. But obviously, just it also depends on who's playing with him. But bro, let's be real. If you've got like a Grealish, say you wanted to do your team, and say Grealish is behind, like playing as a 10 or something like that. When Sterling makes that run, that creates space for a man like Grealish, because obviously Grealish loves the left-hand side as well. I just think Sterling, bro, we know Sterling, even I think people in the chat will agree with us all, yeah? He's never been a finisher. He's just never been that guy. He needs about loads of chances to score a goal. But I don't think we can sit here and say in tournament football, he wouldn't be a massive, massive threat. It's just that what it is, as you said, if it's a one-on-one thing, oh yeah, I'm picking other players ahead of Sterling. But in terms of first 11 and seeing him create some damage, for me, I think Sterling earns his right.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at...
When the Euros come round, we'll revisit this question because I reckon Rashford would have a better tournament than Sterling, but we'll see when it comes, innit?
So, all right. So let's say for the top six, for the 3 positions up top, you've got to take 6 players. Yeah. So we all agree it'll be you're taking Sterling with you, though, right, Drift?
I'd have him on the bench, yeah.
But he'd make the top 6. He'd make my top 6. So we all agree. We all agree Kane and Sterling, right?
Yeah, Kane, Sterling, and then Rashford is definitely
Rashford, Sancho, Foden.
Yeah.
Hold on, one sec. Sancho, Rashford. All right. Who's your last 2?
Grealish.
And Grealish.
All right. This is where I think I'm going to disagree, and I'm probably going to get a bit of stick from you guys.
No, all right. No, are you disagreeing with both of our picks, or because I feel like sometimes you don't want to pick the same player.
Rashford and Foden, I may pick other players ahead of them.
Right, okay.
Foden, I think I'm going Saka over Foden.
No.
And the reason I say that, I feel as though Saka can play on both wings better than Foden would in England's setup. I'm not saying I'm not saying Saka's a better player, but I'm looking at how the system is.
Your logic makes sense, but Foden's a better player than Saka.
No, but Bob, you just said it's not about being a better player. You just said it's about tournament football and getting the moments and
I think Foden's mentality would deal with the pressure of a big tournament more than Saka's would.
Saka is carrying Arsenal, bro.
Yeah,
but Foden is now playing in pressure situations that he's got to deal with a very similar level of pressure.
Bro, what pressure is he playing under his City at the moment, bro?
He's in a team that's going to win everything and he's got to keep up with everybody. That's a level of pressure that's equal to an international tournament.
Bro, if Saka don't turn up for Arsenal, then man could get relegated.
Yeah, but that means that Saka don't have the pressure on him, as in he can kind of turn around and go, right, there's pressure on me to perform, but at the same time, if I'm better than everyone, then I know that I'm not really ever going to get dropped.
Do you know what? I'm going to be real.
Where Foden's like, right, if I don't play well, there's so many world-class ballers there, I don't see pitch again for God knows how long.
I'm going to be real. You see Phil Foden, out of all the players that we've mentioned, yeah, excluding Harry Kane, he's the most naturally gifted, in my opinion, and can play as a 10. He can play as a right wing. I've seen him play as a left wing, but not as effective. But I feel like even if you drop him back to a 10, the guy is just different, bro. And I get it. And I get it. And I get it. Saka, what it is.
Players, he's got it up here better than them.
Saka more direct. Saka's more direct than him, yeah? But I feel like in tournament football, are you going to get the same space that you get in the Prem? Because you see Phil Foden, when it comes to ball retention, yeah, he's arguably got the best ball retention in the whole England camp. So when teams want to condense that space, who's going to keep the ball for you? Phil Foden or Saka? Answer me that one, Cal.
Grealish. Grealish has got the best ball retention in the squad.
No, I'm picking Foden, fam. In my opinion.
Grealish's ball retention, bro.
Bro, I just said I'm picking Foden. Does that mean that I'm saying Grealish hasn't got great ball retention? I just said I'm picking Foden.
I'm not saying that, but are we sleeping on Grealish's ball retention, bro?
But I'm not sleeping on Grealish's ball retention. Bro, let me ask you this.
Go on.
If you had to say one of them had to play midfield as a number 8 to keep the ball, are you rather picking Grealish ahead of Foden to keep the ball As
a number 8, I agree with Cal. As a number 10, I'd go with Foden.
Wow. You man, I don't understand.
I think it depends what part of the pitch you're talking about.
You don't think Foden, but ball retention is mad.
Bruv, I don't see Grealish lose the ball, bruv.
I'd probably go Grealish in the number 8 role, though, Matt, over Foden. I don't think Foden.
I need you to do something for me right now, but it's probably too long, yeah. I need to see how many times.
As an 8, as an 8, you're picking.
No, hear what I'm saying. How many times have they been dispossessed? I need to see that stat, and maybe it'll change my mind. Because I'm not. Remember, what I'm saying is this year. I'm not saying Grealish.
The reason why I don't think that's a fair stat, though, because Man City, they're a passing team, whereas Villa rely on Grealish to carry the ball. So Grealish is probably going to lose the ball more than Foden, because Foden doesn't dribble as much.
But this is what I'm going to say. I'm not saying Grealish's ball retention ain't sick. I'm just saying Foden's ball retention is slightly better. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to know what, Cal? Let me say this, yeah?
I'm not saying, bro, Foden's sick. Let me make that clear.
We've had conversations on this show, and you said to me, bro, they look like they might have another David Silva in them team there.
No, bro, I rate Foden high. But for me,
what's his key stat?
Mad.
But here's the thing. I would say Grealish, yeah, his best attribute is maybe a take on. Whereas, believe it or not, Phil Foden is keeping the ball. But the way Phil Foden can keep the ball is a matter. But his left foot is different.
No, it is, bro. But
it's like this. I don't think there's a clear winner, but I'm going to go with Foden, innit? I think Foden, but Foden keeping the ball retention is different.
All right. Different. If Liverpool had the choice to sign someone, Grealish or Foden, who you pick?
Oh, you're being good. We're not having this conversation. Let
me read out some.
I love both of them. Yeah. Let's move. I love both of them, man.
A-Spec Limited said, "Legends don't come from fondest memories because that is subjective. Our fondest memories will differ. Legends are revered by all and are undisputed." I agree with that. To be fair,
yeah. Agreed.
We've got Josh T says, "I've got to side with Drift on this one. Sterling disappears at international level." I think that's a bit harsh. Personally, he's not great at international, but I don't think any of this crop have been great because they've not really had the chance to prove it yet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Matt Bickerset says Sterling lacks bottle in big pressure moments.
Yeah, I said his big game mentality in terms of for a tournament for England isn't the greatest, but I'm not going to write him off and say, because listen, when you play for England and again, you're playing for a different setup, you're playing a different group of players, yeah? It is more like the individual that has to shine. And I feel like with Sterling, if we're talking about in front of goal, yes, you can kind of always go, he's not the best. But if you're talking about like creating havoc, Cal, running at players all game and opening up space, I think Sterling has to be there, bro.
No, I agree.
He's got to be.
Promo, Sterling is a poacher who isn't clinical. Rashford has 0 IQ. Kane, Sancho, and Grealish for me, with Maddison and Mount in behind. I mean, Sancho for me, Sancho, Sterling, and Kane would be my starting front three, and then I want to see Grealish in midfield, along with maybe Henderson and Rice.
Hold on. Are you taking Foden or are you not taking him?
I'm taking Foden, but I'm also taking Saka.
Do you know what? The way you took so long, I was like, don't get
no, because that means I might leave Rashford. There's no easy choices here. But that's what I would do.
Foden has to be on that play. Like, remember the football. Listen.
But the only thing with that, then you've only got one striker, though.
No, but hear what I'm saying.
Maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin deserves a shout as well.
Because you want to know something as well. And this is why I'm saying Foden, yeah? We've seen Foden in Champions League, yeah? I ain't seen Grealish. And again, I'm not listen, I love Grealish. I would take Grealish at Liverpool all day. But all I'm saying is I'm basing it on things that I've watched in it. And when I say I've seen Foden in Champions League do his thing, no questions. And that's when Champions League is a different style of football. International football is a different style of football. Remember, people, we've only mainly seen Grealish in the Prem, and we know Grealish will probably bat it up at international football. But that's why I'm saying there has to be an argument for Foden. Because for me, Foden's done it in Champions League. Something that Grealish hasn't done. But again, it's unfortunate Grealish because he's playing as a Villa.
I know we've got to move on. Did I hear you say Rashford ain't getting on your play?
He might not.
But he picking. I'll be real, fam.
I'm not gonna lie, Cal, that is insane.
If Foden ain't on the plane,
has to be on that plane.
If Foden ain't on the plane, we're not going Euros.
No, I agree. Foden and Rashford, of the two young English players, are the two for me that just have to be on the plane. Everyone else, Matt is right. We haven't quite seen what they're like at the very highest level. Like Jones, Saka, these guys are balling out for their teams. But when we're talking about the highest level, Champions League, and like winning the Premier League and top level, we haven't seen whether those guys can do it like Foden and like Rashford. At least they've proved.
Have we seen it from Rashford though?
Rashford's played very well in bare Champions League games to prove he can play at a high level. Come on, man.
Bare Champions League.
Well, at least he's done enough. He's done enough, though, to not. Listen,
I'm not even shading, but when you say bare Champions League games,
all right, let me ask him this. Take out Kane. Who would you say is England's next best striker?
It's probably Calvert-Lewin. As things stand right now, it's probably Calvert-Lewin.
Over Rashford?
Well, Rashford's not a striker.
No.
Oh, come on. No one. You might disagree in terms of quality and stuff, but no one can sit here and call Rashford a striker. He's not a striker.
Okay, but let me ask you this. I'm gonna say exactly what Drift said. They're through in 1-on-1 on goal. Are you picking Rashford or Calvert-Lewin? In all honesty, Cal.
But bruv, that doesn't make him a striker. All right.
But a striker is there to finish.
All right. If I put Gerrard through and I put most strikers through, I'm backing Gerrard, and Gerrard's not a striker.
You see, DC, I'm going to be real, yeah? Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a hard-working striker, and he works very well in Everton's system where they play a 10, and he's the focal point, yeah? Harry Kane is the focal point for England.
Yeah.
Okay. If Rashford was to ever play striker, he would not so much be the focal point because I think the game would change slightly because I think he wouldn't hold at the ball as well as Kane and as well as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But you see playing those balls in behind, I think Rashford is better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I think Rashford has better feet as well. And I do feel like Rashford, in my opinion, is more of a goal threat and can create something by himself. Whereas Dominic Calvert-Lewin, in my opinion, has to rely on a cross or has to rely on service. Whereas Rashford, albeit, is not all worldly when it comes to his footwork, Cal, but I do feel like with Rashford, he can shoot from 20 yards and he might do something, or do you know what I mean? Or cut inside.
Rashford can beat a player with his own ability.
The flexibility.
He's undoubtedly a better player than
and the flexibility that he has as well, Cal. So maybe I've got it wrong when I say striker. So
as a striker, if you're taking two strikers, for me, as things stand right now, you've got to go Kane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin because Vardy's not going.
I'd go Kane.
Vardy's not. Vardy's not. Well, he's quitting it. He's already quit.
Yeah.
So you can't
I'd go Ings, Cal. I think Ings is a better striker than Calvert-Lewin.
Ings needs rhythm though, and the second half of the season, Ings hasn't been on it.
But I know it's a really stupid scenario to just keep repeating. Through ball, one-on-one with the keeper, Ings or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm going Ings.
I'm going
They're
Ings.
both about the
Yeah.
same.
Nah. Ings is way better one-on-one.
Ings is a better finisher than Calvert-Lewin.
Way better.
I think people are sleeping.
I'm going
Calvert.
Kane and Ings.
No, but I'm not, bro. If it's in
The
the
only
air,
way I'm
cool.
taking Calvert-Lewin is if I don't have Kane and I want a big man. But we've got the big man with Kane. I don't need two big men. Because Matt's right. Kane, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is like that battering ram kind of striker that
Kane don't play like that.
No, Kane don't play like that. Me just saying.
No, but what I'm saying is if we want to play that style, Kane can do that. So we can just keep spamming crosses and Kane can do that. We can ask him to hold the ball up, keep playing long and hit him. Kane can do that. Other than that, Calvert-Lewin isn't really getting involved in the like all technical silky side. So if we want to play long balls and all that, we play Kane.
Fair enough. M to the O, welcome to the show, bro.
Yo, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Good, man.
Firstly, Carl, you see that tweet, yeah, about a certain Nat Phillips being linked with Burnley?
Has he been linked with Burnley for real?
Yeah, I tagged you in it. The tweet.
You know who said it though, innit? You know who said it.
Apparently Liverpool are saying 10 to 15 mil.
That it?
This is too weird if this is real.
Is that all they're asking for?
That's all they're asking.
I'm gonna be real with you, and this is no shade on Kabak, but if Kabak's going for 18 mil, Kabak's got to be at least 20. Sorry, Phillips has got to be. Sorry, Naldini has got to be worth at least 20 mil.
Yeah, well, I think Schalke overrated their turkey rashers. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's the less you say about Kabak, the better. Because come on now, we're Liverpool. I mean, you get Matip, Gomez, and Van Dijk as a three, and then we're talking about Kabak. I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm not. Listen, I don't normally agree with Drift about the Sayunchi thing, but come on, we could have at least got the best that Turkey have got to offer.
I want Sayunchi bad, bro. That's who I want.
Yeah, but I actually firstly just want to say hope you're all well and that, and
big up, man.
Matt and Callum, you can just take a step back. You can.
You've only got 2 minutes. Remember that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I'm
bro.
gonna make this quick because when you left a couple of weeks back, I heard something that I class as blasphemy from Drift. So I'm gonna address that. Drifty said word for word that Liverpool's team is set up so that Salah is the main guy. Yeah, is absolutely the main thing. And yeah, that's cool. I know what you were saying. The reason why I disagree is because I think you're absolving all responsibility of Mane. Yeah, because our actual system is built so that our wingers, our inside forwards thrive. And I'm just gonna, obviously, because I've only got 2 minutes, I'm just gonna give you some like quick pointers as to why that is the case. Out of our two fullbacks, I think we'd all accept that our most creative player is Trent. Yeah.
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 Now, out of the two fullbacks, also, what's the best trait of Trent? We'd say is his ball distribution, which he normally does from a slightly deeper role. He doesn't get to the byline, whereas Robertson is always overlapping. So when we talk about, Mane tracks back, that's really good and whatnot, he tracks back a lot because Robertson's always overlapping. Trent isn't always overlapping, hence why Salah isn't told you have to track back every single time, which is why we have Henderson on that side of the pitch to compensate for Trent distributing the ball. That was just the first thing. Secondly, Trent crosses the ball. When he crosses the ball, it's always going towards Mane's side of the pitch. Yeah, on that as well, since Salah came into the team, the player who's created the most chances in the whole team has been Salah. If Salah's creating, let's be honest, who's he creating for? Yeah, and that's just a couple of pointers I wanted to go down and just say, Yeah, my actual question, and I hope you probably won't get to it now. You get to it at the end because I asked you the other day. It's a bit of a change of topic, but I asked you for your best UFC fight that you've ever watched. Like, technically, you all gave amazing answers, so thank you for that. I'm quite new to UFC, so I've been watching all the matches that you said to have a look and stuff. And like, I can't remember who it was. There was one that I think, Callum, it was what you said. It was your favorite one.
I'm trying to remember myself.
And it was mad. They were back and forth the whole thing, and like by the end, they were
that was a Figueroa.
mad.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you if you can answer it now. Great. If not, at the end. Now I just wanted to ask you, what's your favorite UFC fight ever? And like, to the point where, when I say favorite, I mean it maybe not be the best quality match, but it was a moment where you were like, "Oh my god, like this is mad."
My one didn't last very long. Still,
I can answer that now. Can you answer yours, Matt and Drew?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
For me, it was Conor versus Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, okay.
Really? Not even against my man. Aldo, yeah.
No,
that came into my brain.
I'll tell you what it was with the Conor one. It was the first time we saw a champion go up and challenge another champion, and I didn't give him a chance of winning that fight. And it showed that if you've got a skill level, you can negate weight to an extent. And Conor opened up. He opened up the UFC for that. Like, how many double champs have we seen now, and people going back and forth between divisions? Conor was the first one to really stamp that down. Because you remember, GSP and Anderson Silva, they were begged to go up a division and challenge the other title holder. Never did. Conor was the first one that said, "Nah, you know what? I'm 45 champ. I want the 55 as well." And to think how well he performed in that fight, in a fight where I didn't give him a chance. I'm not saying it's my favorite fight, but it changed my perception of martial arts.
Jeez.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out, man. I've been watching a lot of is it Alessandro? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
That's Cal's boy right there.
And this guy, I watched his fight against who's that Brazilian guy? Costa.
Yeah.
Wonderful
bro.
Yeah.
Costa's
one of my favorite performances.
Costa's leg. I've never seen a leg look that bad in my life. I swear that was peak. But yeah, no, I just want to say big up. Obviously, thank you for answering that. And
thank you, bro.
Yeah, obviously amazing content and whatnot. And Drift, I know you love Salah. I'm not saying you hate on him. I'm just saying that I do feel like you measure him to a different standard that you measure Mane to. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'll get to it, bro. I'll get to it. That's fair enough.
All right, bless. Well, take care of yourselves and
bless you, brother.
Big up, bro.
Man. All right, bless.
Take care, bro.
Big up. All right, so let's just do it then, because I personally feel like Empedal made some good points. I'm not going to say that what he's saying is wrong, but how I see it, rather than saying that I think you're wrong, how I interpret our team is the relationship that Robertson and Mane have is strategically different based on the ability of the different players. So I think Klopp has assessed it, and M's right. Trent won't necessarily. I mean, Trent does get to the byline, but obviously a lot less than Robertson does. But I think that's based on the ability of the players. So knowing that Trent doesn't need to be as far forward to make that pass means why waste time getting to the byline? Do it quick. Do it when you receive it, because we know you have the ability. Whereas Robertson is a little bit different. But where I believe that we are still slightly set up more to attack down the right-hand side than we are down the left-hand side, which again is why I think there's more emphasis on the team to get the ball to Salah than Mane, is if you ever look at any time where we're sitting deep, if you look at corners, and if you think about how exposed Trent gets in comparison to Robbo, not just because Robbo's a better defender, but the actual space that's in front of Robertson is less than the space that's in front of Trent. Salah is normally our most progressive player. I'll give you one example, because I don't want to keep going in and getting in an argument and all that. Arsenal, 2018 season, counter-attack. Salah is the furthest Liverpool player forward. He's the one who benefits from Bellingham's mistake. He's the one who scores the goal. Just one small example of when we're set up defensively, I feel like Salah's the one who's left the furthest up the pitch. And even if it's only by 5 or 10%, I think that's by the design of Mane's better at defending, Salah is better at attacking. Therefore, we slightly favour Salah in attack over Mane. If you lot disagree, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Cal itching.
Totally fine.
He wiped the brow.
But I personally think that Salah has got less defensive responsibility than Mane. And I think we are more designed to have Salah on the last man than we are Mane if you was to work out all of the times where we're in them type of scenario. Like I've seen games where we're defending a lead, for an example, and we've got a 1-0 lead or a 2-0 lead. Mane will be asked to do more defending and Salah will be told, give them something to still think about. You stay on the last man and everyone else come and be more tight. That there, to me, is just a small example of Salah is more the one we use for attacking. Mane is the one we use a bit more for defending. If you lot don't agree, that's fine. But that's how I look at it when I watch the shape of our team. So
I think you made some good points there, Drift. But I don't think it's all the way true. And the reason I say that is when you look at average positions of Mane and Salah, they're actually not that dissimilar in terms of their average positions on a football pitch. I think the thing with Mane and Rob, like again, I don't want to sound like I'm discrediting Mane, but I think there is a myth going around that it's always Mane and Robbo doubling up. Like I've seen Robbo in one-on-one situations a lot. It's just that he deals with them better than Trent, so no one makes a thing of it. Like our fullbacks do get isolated quite a lot, but what happens is I think Robbo deals with it better because he's a better defender, but also if Trent or Robbo lose out on the ball, Gomez, Matip or Virgil usually there to mess it to clear up. They mop up the mess. So a lot of people kind of forget when a man gets beaten or anything like that. In terms of the Salah Mane thing, we compare them, but they're very different players. Like Mane's not creative. He never has been. I don't think he ever will be. He's not a creative player. He's a very good, and I'm talking about Mane on top form now. He's a very good dribbler. He's extremely clutch, and he gets into great areas to score goals. But what my thing is with Mane and Salah is, I think Salah is judged a lot harsher than Mane, and especially this season. And I think that's what's been my frustration. Like, it just, for me, it's been a thing where Mane has been just as bad as Firmino, to the point where I'm saying either Mane or Firmino gets dropped for Jota, and then you go from there. Right? Whereas I think everyone just from the beginning of the season, everyone's been like, no, Firmino's rubbish, but no one's really said anything about Mane until maybe the last couple of weeks. And that's been my frustration, because I think Mane's been getting away with a lot this season and it hasn't been turning up.
No, that's fair enough, bro. That's fair. And again, like I said, I'm not even going to say what you're saying is wrong. You know what I mean? It's just my interpretation. And even little things like when we make formation switches and he puts Salah down the middle and maybe brings Firmino off or drops Firmino deeper and brings Shakira, just little things. I just feel like in Klopp's mind, Salah is more of the focal point from an attacking sense than Mane is. I've never really ever seen him play Mane up front. Maybe like once. I've seen him do it with Salah a lot, to the point where we're like, Salah's not a striker, Klopp. Stop putting him up front.
No, I agree with that. One thing I will say to people in the comments, for anyone saying sell Mane and Bobby, I'm not going to agree with that. Like, I just categorically not going to agree. And the whole, I mean, I saw something come out today saying that Liverpool may sell a big asset, but it won't be Salah. You see, if we go and get a Haaland, but we have to sell a Firmino or a Mane, and you agree with that, you've been conditioned. You improve your squad. Like, please, let's get this out of our head that we've been conditioned because we have to sell a big player to bring in another big player. We shouldn't have to do that. We're Liverpool Football Club. Like, I'm not going to go into the whole FSG thing, but please don't be conditioned to that. Like, let's sell the players who aren't giving as much to the team on the fringes, rather than selling players who have been vital to our success. Like, please, let's get off that train now. M to the O says Mane played right wing against Palace. We gave up chances. We did, to be fair, but that is one game, so I'm going to take that as an isolated incident. I'm not going to use that as a
Mane. I am going off.
Can I just say something?
Go on, man.
Let me say something to end this whole thing. Yeah, both of them are great players. I think we just need to allow comparing them now. It's just getting a bit mad, isn't it? Like Salah's having a great season. Mane's not having a good season. Mane's had better seasons. Do you know what I mean? They're just both different. I look at them like Robin and Ribery, innit? Like, look at Bayern Munich. They didn't fight over who was better, innit? Just appreciate both of them because they're both great individual players. Yes, one might score more goals, one might create more, whatever. But it's getting kind of long, innit? It's a thing where you might like one more than the other. It's just how it is in football, innit? Like,
I think great as well, you know.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Robin and Salah and Ribery and Mane are actually very good comparisons.
That's what I'm saying.
The problem is
the dribbler and the more techie player, and one's the better shooter, more like moment player. Yeah, like you're right. You're actually right.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the problem is though when you think of Ribery and Robin, they always contributed differently. This season, Mane and Firmino haven't contributed to that front line.
No, I know, but there's always been this kind of like, as a fan base, I think, and again, we're well entitled to it because it's like, who's your favorite? Like normally, it might be like, no, I prefer Mane, I prefer Salah, and that's just football, isn't it? Like we're all allowed to have our favorites, but I just think let's just appreciate both of them. You have your favorites, but I think us trying to bring down one to make the other one look better, or I just think this is how I look at it. Robin and Ribery were legends at Bayern. Yeah? Mane and Salah are on the verge of being legends if they're not already. They are like creme de la creme of the wingers that we've had for years, innit? They're sensational. One is a better goal scorer. One is maybe more diverse. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just amazing players, innit? Let's just compliment both of them, innit? Like they're both great, bro. Like it is what it is.
All right, guys, we're going to do 2 more callers. So if you haven't been able to get on tonight, we're going to do 2 more callers. If you haven't been able to get on tonight, what I'm going to ask is that you send your questions to me on Twitter. So you can DM me and we'll make sure we'll either do a video answering the questions separately or we'll answer them in another show, and we'll make sure we give you a shout out and everything like that. Khalil Hassan, what do we do if FSG say there are no funds and we can't sell Deadwood this summer? What then? Then I get on a plane to Boston and I'm gum shielding, innit?
I predict a riot. I predict a riot, bro. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, like
you think FSG could come with their PR spin and go, well, I'm sorry. Well, guys, know what I'm saying? We didn't make no Champions League. LeBron, what you saying, bro? We got money, bro. We got money. I don't want to hear none of that. No.
Yeah. Where's all the money going?
That's mid-table mediocrity. Here we come. If that's
and I'll tell you something. Do you know why they can't even get away with it if we don't make Champions League? When we won the Champions League, and we
spent no money.
We spent nothing. So them man was saving for a rainy day. So this rainy day gonna be here very soon because we know we probably ain't making Champions League unless we win it. So when it comes to that rainy day, I don't want to see them go, well, you know what I'm saying? It just stays there, man. You guys got no European football. You might play baseball, but you didn't make it in soccer. Bro, don't want to hear that rubbish.
No, facts.
You saved up for a rainy day. You're supposed to be astute, and I use the word. People, just zoom in when I say this. Astute. Remember that word, what I said, astute, yeah? Businessman, creme de la creme, yeah? So if they've done their due diligence, yeah, from what they've been preaching about Liverpool don't need to spend in a pandemic, the club are good financially, Liverpool are not going to be one of the big spenders. Well, let's see what happens in the summer, because I think we're going to need some of that money. So put your money where your mouth is.
Money where your mouth.
You're saying that them man have got hella space food and tin food in the bunker for that end of the world.
But they've been spending money, bro.
They've been spending money there.
Listen, money.
There's money there. It's just whether they want to use it.
You know what FSG are like, and we've all got this. You've got that brethren who makes about 50, 60 grand a year, yeah? and his missus makes a good change as well. So you're not trying to work out his finances, but you know his household is doing fine. And then you say, oh yeah, like it's Callum's birthday, and we're all gonna chip in and get him a table, and we're gonna buy him blah blah blah, like we saying, and then he's like, I'm kind of broke, it's not really a good time. And you're like, you make double everyone else makes. What are you talking about?
No, but that is potentially different because you've got to look at expenditure.
No. I know his expenditure. It's the same as mine, but it makes twice as much money as I.
If it's the same, if it's the same as yours, and he makes double.
Put money in, man. We're getting him a table. Man said he wants that exquisite apple juice for his birthday. We're getting him it, bro. Put the money in, man.
Do you know what it is? It's the same guy, yeah? I'll give you an example. I'm not good with this, yeah? You're better at me, but hear me out, Tiff, yeah? This guy makes 60K a year. We've all gone out to eat, yeah? And every man comes to the end of the bill and everyone's like, all right, so we'll split the bill. And like them ones, they will split the bill. This man's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, man just gonna pay for what I ate in it still. Like, I don't know what you man are on, but like, I'm thinking, brother, what you're telling me? Every man's agreed to it, but you're the only one that's gonna. Well, I didn't order that. I didn't order that Coke, innit?
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
It is what it is.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I go out to a restaurant, and I order just sides, but someone's ordered.
But that's a bit different. No, but that's a bit different. That's extreme. But let's say us three went and got some drinks, and I went and got jugs and all that, and I'm like, let's all split the bill. You man are gonna be looking like, is Matt all right? He's supposed to split, and he's just bought like 3 jugs, and all we've got is a beer.
I hear where Cal's coming from, but you're right, because there's always that guy who, when he knows we're going to split the bill before we make orders,
he's a bit funny.
And he never gets steak normally, but he knows not everyone's chipping in, he's going to get a steak,
he's feeling a bit
So I get where Cal's, but you're right. Basically, you know what it is, to make it easier, we go out and we're like, every man just get around each and we're all good. And he's on the 3rd round, but now he's drunk. So he's not going up now. He don't need his round because he's drunk.
There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse
for that. Yeah, for real.
There's no excuse for that. M to the O says, agreed, Matt. I love them both. Just get frustrated that people never say Salmano, but I see man saying this season it's okay if we lose Salah. That frustrates me as well.
Yeah, it's not okay to lose any of them. It's not okay.
Khalil Hassan says both Tsimikas and Nico will be loaned out this summer or loaded out this summer, and Ben Davies and Milner will be our backup fullback. If that happens, I'm gonna riot.
Listen, that could never happen. I won't let it happen, people. I'm not having that. You're having a laugh.
Our next caller, LTAB, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro. How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
I'm fine. So I was listening to you guys' conversation about when Conor asked about the best teams earlier. So I think one team that's really underrated is Rijkaard's Barca, especially the first few years. Because you have to consider, before he came, they didn't win a trophy for 4 years. When he came, they were 6th place and stuff. But I just wanted to add that real quick before I ask my questions.
That's a great shout. Very good shout. Foundation for Pep to take it to the level.
100. Ronaldinho, massive signing. Look at that, legendary.
Yeah. But anyway, so my question is, do you think Kabak is a decent 4th choice? So assuming next year we get Van Dijk back, and let's say we get a good replacement for Matip, not world class, but nearly world class, and then Gomez and Kabak, and then obviously Davies. Oh yeah, Davies. I forgot about that guy. What do you think of those options, 5 center backs? I think that's decent, to be honest.
I think we need 5 center backs.
I think we do. I think here's the thing. If we was to get all right, say Van Dijk comes back, Gomez is back. Say, for example, we sold Matip and we brought in, say, just for argument's sake, a Varane or a Botman. Nat Phillips stays around. I haven't got an issue with Kabak. But I think it gets a bit different because when we look at what most likely will happen with FSG is that, let's say Matip does go, we don't know the caliber of defender that we're going to get to replace Matip. And I think that is very key because let's say if it was a Varane, for argument's sake, maybe people wouldn't have an issue. But again, is Nat Phillips even going to stay? Because even though his contract is not, is he going to stay as well? I just feel like we are Liverpool Football Club. And for me, the best way to look at it is like this. If Kabak was 4th choice for any other of the top clubs, would you say they could improve? or they could do better. Because I look at us, we should be the best. Like, should we be accepting players that they're not bad, by the way? When I say Kabak, yeah, Kabak is a young player and will be good, but have we got the time for him to be good or to be great? And not only that, is he a player that needs games? Because that's the thing. If Van Dijk stays fit and Gomez plays 50% of games, that third choice centre back might play the other 50%. So where does Kabak even fit into that? And he might be rivaling Nat Phillips.
But I'm saying I want like someone ahead of Gomez actually, because I want Gomez to be fit. I'm saying like second choice to be like just as good as, not just as good, because no one's better, no one's in the world is as good as Van Dijk, but like close to that level and not injury prone. Obviously. I think we need that type of defender now, because Gomez, I really like him. But you know, I'm sick and tired of injury prone players, and like this year, like really proved it. Because like when you need them players most, they're never there. Like this season, we needed them the most. Matip, Gomez, when Van Dijk got injured, but unfortunately, they're not there. Keita, Ox.
Yeah, let me just weigh on this quickly. Kabak, I think he could potentially maybe be a good player based on the fact that he's only 20. And as Cal said, which is very unfair, he was thrown into the deep end and he never even had a swimming lesson before. It was quite unfair on him. I do agree with that. No armbands, just get to the end or you drown. And that is quite difficult. The only thing I'll say is our competition is City. I know the Chelseas and the Man U's of this world will not say about it, but Man City is everybody's yardstick. If you want to be the best in the league, you have to try and compete with Man City. And if you look at the fact that they've got Stones, Diaz, Laporte, and Ake, there's not one of those players who's a weak link. There may be one of those players who's not as great as the others, or not the greatest, but none of those players are weak links, so to speak. And Kabak, for me at the moment, is a weak link. Maybe in a few years' time he won't be, but at the moment he is. And for me, why should, as Liverpool Football Club, we have to keep putting up with weak links? I no longer want a situation where we're like, oh man, da-da-da's got to play. It should just be, all right, we're upset Thingy's not there, but at least da-da-da can play. Just the same way now with Mane or Salah can't play, we go, okay, well, we play Jota. And we're all right with it. And we know Jota's not as good as Mane or Salah, but we're all right with it. I want that to be our defensive options now. I'm sick of it always being a guy on the bench in defence where we're like, well, here's a major problem. Now we can't do what we normally do, or that guy's not that good, or I'm sick of that, man. We're Liverpool, man. I don't want that anymore. So Kabak as fifth choice, completely okay with. Kabak as fourth choice.
Sorry, can you guys hear anything in my background?
No. Just a tiny bit.
I can hear. I've got a fox right outside the window behind me.
But yeah, and I don't want to be harsh on Kabak. I don't, because he hasn't been crap or anything like that. But I want our fourth choice centre back to be somebody I don't have any worries about the fact he's playing. Just like Man City, if Ake's got to play, they're not worried. Ake plays, innit? It's what it is. That's what I want.
That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, put it this year, if Ake was third or fourth choice, I don't think we'll be sitting there crying about it. Whereas I feel like right now, the fan base are split. Whether you like Kabak or you don't like him, I feel like the fan base is split. Whereas I don't think we would have so much of an issue if it was a Nathan Ake. And I get it, City have more money than us, but this is called reality, and this is what we're up against. We just have to call it what it is. This is the proposition we have, and this is what we are going with. If we think Kabak, in my opinion, is the answer to solve the issue we have in the defensive crisis, I'm not too sure how long that's going to last before, in my opinion, we get found out. But it is what it is.
Yeah. But LTR, we're going to let you go and bring on the last caller, but great question, bro.
Big up, bro.
Big up, bro.
Right. Thank you, bro. Just to answer Khalil Hassam's question, do we let Nat go for free in the summer? No, his contract doesn't end.
No. Yeah, it doesn't end.
What I will say on that, I would personally like Nat Phillips to be our fifth choice, Gomez to be our third choice, someone like a Varane to come in and be second choice, and then someone else to come in and be fourth choice.
Just a quick one.
Ideal world.
Guys, just quickly, can I ask you this? Do you think Nat Phillips has an argument where he can look at Liverpool and say, "Are you sure you want to sign Kabak?"
100.
Because
No, we need to sign a centre back.
Yeah. No, but what I'm trying to say is this.
No, Matt. Yes, 100%.
Is Nat Phillips rivaling Kabak, like in terms of where 100%. He is in the pecking order?
He's outperforming Kabak. He's outperformed Kabak. He's outperformed Reece Williams.
100%.
That was my whole thing from day one. But again, we'll talk about it another time. But that was my argument.
At the moment, Nat Phillips is our best centre back.
Yes.
There you go. That says a lot in my opinion.
Guys, please put a bit of respect to his now Deeney, please. Just have some respect, guys. Say his name 100%. Properly.
There you go. And this is what I'm trying to say.
Last caller for this evening, LFC for days. Welcome to the show.
Big up yourselves. You guys can
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
we hear you, bro.
Cool. Yeah, no, I just wanted to quickly go over like 1-2 things. I know I've got 2 minutes. I was having a look at some stats, and surprisingly, I wanted to see. People were saying we didn't make chances, so I was like, let me go have a look. And I was looking at our conversion rate of last year. So obviously, for 386 goals we had, we scored 85 of them. So that was a 22% conversion rate. But what's massively different this year, surprisingly, is we've actually, in comparison to what people have said, we've actually created more chances. We've had 551 shots at goal, but we've only managed to put in 47 of them. That means our actual conversion rate is only 8.5%. And this really...
Damn, son!
And funny enough...
It's so upsetting to hear, bro, because right now, all that says is we should still be top of the league.
We technically, if we could have converted all of those, we technically should be top of the league. And the funniest thing is, in 10 years of, in a decade, that is actually our highest amount of shots at goal, but our lowest conversion rate. It's even probably worse. It looks even worse than obviously it's worse than Suarez for 13-14 season. And that really shows us a problem in this season that maybe we thought it was defensively, but really it's attacking, because we haven't been very clinical. And I think we've gone through the seasons lucky that we were, maybe I can say maybe there was sometimes luck here and there, but there was obviously pure skill. But of course, we've come in and now we can see this clinical issue is a problem. And I guess if you had a Kane or something, or a Haaland or Mbappe, or just someone clinical, those change, and that's what we need to look in the when we come into this window. And as you guys said, I dislike the fact that people want to get rid of Mane, Salah, and Firmino. I think as a team, like you look at Man City, you don't get rid of your best players. We want to improve. We don't just want to stay at the same position we're at. And consistently, that's what I say with FSG. They're like a revolving door. I don't know what's coming in, and I don't know what's, going out. And look at Nat Phillips, a prime example. Nat Phillips can perform well right now, and I won't know if he will stay in the team or if he might be sold if a decent offer comes in. And then, okay, say Nat Phillips gets sold, who are we bringing in? And if we don't bring someone in, does that mean we're keeping Matip and we're still trying with that injury record? And if that happens, and the same thing, God forbid, happens next season, now we don't have Nat Phillips. Who do we have in? And we haven't got anyone in. And that's the problem I feel with FSGs, that they keep letting us go one step further and then bringing us back down when they sell our best players. And we can't keep moving like that, because City, of course, will keep on going leaps and bounds because they're building a squad. Our squad hasn't really changed. I don't think we've had this season under FSG where we look at our bench and we're like, damn, I want to bring at least 2 or 3 players on. Whereas if you look at City, you can actually do that. And my last thing anyway was, funny enough, I'm looking at options for coming in, maybe to cover, like, at least, or to fix that clinical thing. I was hearing Pulisic is somewhere floating in the air, and I think Pulisic would be a good option to come in, but my only problem is I look at that left-hand side that we've got Mane, we've got Jota on that left-hand side, and if Minamino stays or something, he might be on that side too. So I can't really see Pulisic coming in. So that really leaves me with Neto and possibly a Rafinha. I personally think one of those two would be really good to add as an additional. And my last thing was yesterday, thank God Klopp has actually played Fabinho in CDM. What Fabinho adds to our team is a different dynamic formation we can play. Because yesterday, sometimes I saw we were playing like almost like a 3-2-2-3, where Fabinho can drop into the back just to help Nat Phillips and Kabak. And it really helps because that I personally thought he should have been playing anyway, because if Fabinho really needs to do defensive work, let him move back and then he can help those guys, give some depth, because yesterday Thiago was transformed. He doesn't have to worry about the defensive work anymore. So he's going, look at him, he's doing bicycle kicks. When have you seen Thiago do that in the past few weeks? And I'm very happy that anyway this is doing, and let's carry on, of course. I don't want him to change the system. If Klopp does that, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to come for Klopp if he changes that CDM system. But yeah, big up yourselves. It was great, and thankfully we transferred that win onto our next game.
God willing. Thank you very much.
Hopefully Monday, bro. Thank you, bro.
Topic for us to chop up right at the end.
Thanks, man. See ya.
I know it wasn't one of his things, but just on that Thiago thing, we all know if Henderson and Fabinho were playing in the midfield with Thiago for this whole season, it would have been a totally different season. Let the haters hate and let them talk. Any true Liverpool fan and any real baller knows Thiago's levels above 99.9% of any player in world football in that midfield. Let them talk and say whatever they want, man. We know there's been extenuating circumstances. First of all, his first week in England, he was assaulted. Enough man like Di Maria and that, they just wanted out of England after that. At least Thiago's had the balls to stand up and go, okay, I've just got to adjust to how aggressive this league is. And he ain't asked to be all out and leave and all that crap. But man, them know, man. If Thiago would have been playing box to box all season, we'd have been seeing a way saucier Thiago. Come on. Everyone knows this. I mean, how can you doubt Thiago? The man, he puts a smile on your face with his name alone. Come on, man. Come on. Let's stop being silly. But yeah, what were the questions again, sir?
So the conversion stat.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll be honest with you. When I heard the conversion stat, this is how I felt.
No.
We finish in about 5 minutes.
That's
I'll just wrap it up now.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
That right there.
I felt more like I'm like crawling into a ball when I heard that 8% finishing. Oh my!
And the thing is,
it's
no one expects you to score all your chances, but
yeah, because you don't even know how many like clear cut are their half chances. But the fact of the remains is that that's still bad. Like, and again, we know not every single one of them is a 1-on-1, but still, that's a lot of shots, bro. That's a lot.
8% of anything's not a lot. We've just got to be honest. 8% of anything.
That's a mad thing, bro.
Even if I said I'm going to give you 8% of the biscuits in my biscuit tin, you'd be like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Unless I've got 1 million biscuits in my tin.
Trust.
I think it just shows that we need a striker, an out-and-out striker. It can't just be a hybrid attacker. It's got to be an out-and-out striker.
Well, we know
if that striker can do other things as well, all perfect. But we need Haaland or Mbappe.
Yeah, we've got, and even if not that, I still stand by what I said before, guys. I feel like a number 9 is extremely important. Don't get me wrong. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But after watching that game the other day, because I'm not going to let the RB Leipzig game fully make me lose track of how bad we've been. So I'm going to go back to that Fulham game again. I personally think we need a wide forward and a number 10 more than we need a striker just because I feel like when we're trying to create chances, proper clear-cut chances, not those little silly chances.
We need
that
it all.
might be like, oh, we
Need
should
it
have scored, but we didn't.
Need it all.
No, we do. We just got to dress.
Let me be
We just
honest.
got to dress everything. But
Remember-
let's stop doing it. No, just quickly. Well, let's just forget
We
this.
need it all.
Listen, you're both right because we need everything, bro. Like, I know you're talking about prioritizing because we know about FSG. We know. But bro, I'm gonna be real.
Servo, do you remember that time? Remember that header that Mane had that was like he should have scored it, but it was like a half header because someone was challenging him. I can't remember. It's maybe about 3 or 4 games ago, and he headed it over the top. You see, chances
City
like
won
that, even if you feel Mane should have done better, for me, that's still not a clear-cut chance. So, like, when we're looking at the conversion rate, I'm looking at games where, like...
Kane buries that, fam.
No, fair enough. But what I'm saying is I'm looking at, like, the Fulham game, the Burnley game, the Brighton game, and I'm thinking about when we're doing our review after the game, and we're like, guys, do you remember a clear chance we had in that game? And we can't really remember one. And I'm feeling like we need a creative player so that during the game, there's about 3 or 4 actual clear-cut chances, basically like the first half against RB Leipzig. You know, in the first half against RB Leipzig, that was clear chances where we were like, Jota, Salah, what? How did you not score that, bro? Like, but I want that to be every game because that's not every game. If you look at the Brighton, the Burnleys, and all those games, we didn't even have those chances. We're coming away from the game and we're like, we didn't even have a shot today, you lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think we need, a number 10 and a creative wide forward player who's more in the Ribery type mode where he will beat players and constantly create chances throughout the game. Alan Neto, I'm jumping on the train. Alan Neto creates chances constantly throughout the game. He beats his man and he gets into an opportunity. That's what we need. So we need Neto, we need Grealish, and then if you want to go and get
all right. Oh, hold on. Right, I'm gonna answer both sides. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to this now. Listen to this. Yeah, you want the creator because I agree. The creator is gonna have to need to create chances because Liverpool at the moment aren't the best at creating. Even though the shot says it different. It's about how many clear-cut chances are we creating? How are we breaking teams down? It's normally because of a Trent cross or a Robbo cross, or Salah maybe might be able to carve out something. It's very rare from our midfield. So say you add Grealish in there, Grealish can add a bit of spice, even a bit of Maddison, and I'll go one better, maybe Neymar, because Neymar would just open up the whole thing, X factor, yeah. But but then I'm gonna go to the up. Then I'm gonna go to the up. But then I'm gonna go to the other side. No, but hear me out, people. You let me land. Let me land. In the promised land, Neymar's there as the 10. He opens up the game. But as Carl's saying, Carl's like, well, Neymar might open up the game, but where's the striker? But just like, no, we've got Neymar. Look how much time he's gonna create. This is what Carl's saying now, yeah? If you've got Harry Kane as your striker, do you know what Harry Kane does? He attracts attention. By him attracting attention, even
opens up the space.
He opens up the space. There you go. So this is what I'm saying. We need it all.
You think if you've got Haaland, you think them two centre backs ain't occupied, and then one-on-one Mane and Salah, whoever else you got on the wings, isolate their fullbacks.
Kane on the pitch at Liverpool by himself, every single person is going to be shook. Can you just, guys? Let's just sit back for a minute. Raise your eyebrow and just smell the air. Can you smell that? That smells like Harry Kane up front, bro, cooking up the tick. Harry Kane in the middle opens up the space for Salah and Mane to dance all day. That man can duppy the dance all day, bro.
When was the last time you saw Mane and Salah isolate a fullback? They can't, can they?
Because they don't respect. And
they can't. Because you know why? One of the centre backs is free because Bobby ain't about. But you see what happens if Bobby drops back into the 10. You see that DM who is usually going to double up. They've got to worry about Bobby. You see the other centre midfielders. They've got to worry about Thiago and Fabinho and Henderson. And then you see the fullbacks. They've got to worry about Salah and Mane.
Bro.
And then you see the defenders. They've got to worry about Haaland or Kane. It's done.
Bro,
It's done.
if we ever
It's
got
done.
a
It's
Haaland
done.
or a
It's
Kane,
done.
yeah,
It's done.
I'm telling
It's
you,
done.
man, from now,
Still it's bang. It's done.
the space. Imagine them man be thinking, "Raw, we got to deal with Harry Kane. Oh, we got to deal with Salah. Oh, we got to deal with Mane." Bro, a clinical striker is so key. It just opens up the space, fam.
Hey, Matt knows about
that's
it.
my
He's
cologne,
young.
you know. That's my cologne.
I'll say it's more like the Sean John. Man, them know about that. That's his pheromone. The atmosphere, that's different.
Bro,
You know, but we're living in dream world right now, yeah. Like we are. We know we're not going to get Haaland, and we know we're not going to get Kane. But
obviously, I know that.
If we signed Harry Kane, I think that would be the biggest statement signing ever made in Premier League history.
Of course.
Yeah.
Honestly,
of course.
And it would be the biggest statement signing. That would go and rival Van Persie being taken from Arsenal. But it would be better because Kane is better than Van Persie with the prolificness he's had for the amount of time he's had. It would be the biggest statement. Everybody would turn around and go, my days. I was about to get blasphemous there, but I won't because, sorry, Lord. Everyone would be like, raw. Liverpool just signed.
But even Haaland. Even Haaland, though.
Ramping.
Madness.
They are not ramping. Like they have just they've gone and taken the most prolific striker in the Premier League and said, come and join the juice that's already jerked. It's already jerked. All we need to do is just fling you in right now.
You're just doing salt bay, innit? You just just doing salt bay. No, not even moving it around. You're just sprinkling it in one place, bro.
And you know what? It really annoys me that we're a club who this isn't even something we can realistically dream about. That's what annoys me. Because Harry Kane in the summer should be what Liverpool are looking at. What we need a striker, but we also want a player who can play deeper and do a bit of creativity. Harry Kane, how much do you want? 150 mil, shut your mouth, here we go. That's what we should be able to do as Liverpool Football Club, but we're never going to do it.
Listen, I'll say this to end it, yeah? For all you NBA fans out there, you see Golden State, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that's Mane and Salah, yeah? They can win championship. But you see when Kevin Durant got there, it was a wrap. Back-to-back champions, yeah? It was fake. If Harry Kane was to come to Liverpool, that will be it. It'll be fake. Nobody has to stop us. I'm going to be real. It's never going to happen. It is a fantasy, but I'm going to keep it alive. If Harry Kane comes to Liverpool, we destroy everything. I'm going to be real. Kane, Salah, Mane, that's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. It's done. It's a wrap. Done. Done. It's done. No, it's done. Fake. It's fake. It should never happen because it will be so fake. That's how peak it will be. Can you imagine, though? They're thinking, Harry Kane, how are we going to stop him today? Oh, crap, we've got to think about Salah. Oh, crap, we've got to think about Mane. Oh, flip it. What are we going to do? And Bobby Firmino's changed to a 10. And behind him, you've got, I don't know, Henderson and Fabinho. Or dare I say it, Thiago and Henderson or Fab and... But the rotation!
You see my hands. Look at the table again.
Bro.
You know what? The best part of what you just said, Matt, is I personally believe that off the bench, Firmino can actually be a very impactful player, and we've got evidence of it. If you ask him to just come on in the last 20 minutes, he can change games. And it takes all the pressure off of him of having to be that lead man all the time and all that kind of stuff. And it's so true, man. If we just had owners that were just a little bit ambitious, because I don't think they're ambitious. I just think that they are good at what they do from a business sense. And it's helped us to get where we are, so to speak. But if they were ambitious, they wouldn't have had all these windows where they don't give Klopp money. They wouldn't have had all these windows where we've gone backwards or we've stood still rather than advanced. Ambitious owners are always looking for the next way to make you the best. Always looking for the next. And you know what? Let's be honest. When Haaland was leaving Leipzig, push the boat out and you get him. You don't let him go to another club where now you've got to pay that club 100 million in a few years. You push the boat out and you get him now. That type of ambition, sometimes it doesn't work out. Gabriel Jesus went to Man City. He's not a bad player by any means, but He hasn't quite lived up to the expectation that there was. But you know what? Man City took the chance. 20 mil, he's meant to be the new thing. Let's do it now. They didn't let him go to Barcelona or some other club and become an absolute superstar. They took the chance on him. That's what we need to do, even if we're not going to do the pay 100 mil. Who's the next superstar bad man? Get him now. Don't wait till he becomes a bad man.
Should have been Haaland.
No, they're not even doing the whole Moneyball thing the right way, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were slow on that one.
Super legend. They don't just push the boat out and do that. Sancho, they push the boat out a little bit and get him before he becomes 100 million. Because when he becomes 100 million, we know you're not going to buy him.
Can't attain him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
It's facts. Brid Adams asked, rate these men in order. Marlow, Gus, Franklin, and Ghost.
Well, straight away, Ghost goes to the top of that list. For me.
No, not for me. No.
For me, anyway.
No, he probably does.
For me.
You reckon?
Yeah, for me. I know, you know, we shouldn't really give it away in case anyone ain't seen The Wire, but Marlow was a G, but
Marlow, Chris, and Snoop.
No, but
yeah, but season 5.
That's 17, 18, Mane, Bobby, and Sally. You know?
I don't even know.
I'm not gonna lie. If it's Gus from Breaking Bad, Gustavo was my guy.
Sorry, I know. Don't kill me. Who's Franklin?
That's what I'm trying to work out as well.
Hold on.
I shoot me if I'm totally dropping the
Hold
ball.
on.
Who's Franklin?
You're making me think now.
Is that like Sopranos or something that I haven't seen?
I see. I'm not a Sopranos.
I've not seen Sopranos.
I'm just saying.
Oh, Snowfall.
I don't know.
So you got Ghost. So you got thingy from. Then you got Snowfall. See, I've never watched Snowfall, so I don't even know.
Snowfall. I'm gonna go check it out then. If there's a bad man in there, I'll
man said Franklin from GTA 5.
Nah, a lot of people saying Snowfall's about it. You know, I'll give Snowfall.
I've seen the adverts and all them things. I've seen it.
People are upset with us, but yeah, I ain't seen Snowfall. I can't lie.
No, bro, man ain't seen that. But I think Ghost, though, for me, it's got to be Ghost,
is
innit?
top, man. I don't care. Ghost.
For me, it's just Gustavo free.
Gustavo was a G. I'm not gonna lie. Gustavo was
man
a G,
fronted out a chicken shop, bro. Chicken shop.
No, but you see when Ghost used to stand up on that glass balcony and look over his thing, that's me still. I just want to just be like, yeah, that's me. I'm not gonna lie. That because remember, you lot already know that that's one of my life ambitions, to own a nightclub / restaurant. So the way Ghost is doing his thing, that I'm
just don't do it through drug money, please, bro.
No.
Matt Bickerzette says Viola adding that 65 mil clause. Edwards avoid. Look, apparently a couple of people are saying room for Haaland. We'll speak about it on Monday.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We'll see. Gotta say a massive thank you to everyone.
Talking about this Snowfall, I'm gonna have to go and check this out. I'm always up for
it.
Still.
Bro, it looks decent. I gotta check it out. It looks decent.
Same.
You know why it's got to be Ghost? You know why it's got to be Ghost at the top though? You got to put the swag in it as well. Gustavo was an absolute G. Don't get me wrong, but Ghost just had the swag on another level.
Yeah, Ghost's swag is untouchable. It's untouchable. It's untouchable.
No, the suit game was just impeccable.
Yeah.
Different.
You see, it wasn't even a suit that did it for me. It was the sleeveless cardigans. I'm not gonna lie. I purchased 2 of them after watching Power. I'm not gonna front. Them sleeveless cardigans were a game changer. When I saw him rolling that, I was like,
different.
That's different.
And you know what? We all know as well. Amari is Mr. Take Your Girl, isn't it? So if we're really deep in the situation, Ghost is the top of that list, regardless of
Ghost is top.
Yeah, he would take.
I don't agree with all his moves, but he's the top of that list.
Yeah. People, we're going to wrap up there. Massive thank you to everyone who joined us. As I said, if you didn't get on the call today, DM me on Twitter and I'll make sure we answer your questions or we try and get you on the next show. We'll be back on Monday. No, we're back sooner than that. We've got to do a Wolves preview, so we'll be back sooner than that. So make sure you keep a check on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So we'll let you know via those platforms when we're going to go live for the Wolves preview. And then we'll be back on Monday for the Monday night live show, as well as a build-up show to the Wolves game, and then also after the game as well. So, guys, massive thank you. Matt, if anything you want to say before we take the people out?
Just thanks for putting me onto this snowfall. I'm always looking for a new show. I'll go and have a look at what's going on. And would I take a Bamiyang? Someone was asking. Every day of the week.
Yeah, I would. Just for Bams.
Listen, man. All I want to say is this, yeah. But obviously, if I could play next to Salah and Mane, then the amount of goals I'd be scoring would just be absolutely stupendous. And this whole debate about me, faking injury at Spurs, allegedly at Liverpool, that just wouldn't happen. Jose's got a different style of play. Under Klopp, he's a merchant. I just want to play games, I want to score goals, and I just think we'll be like, Golden State Warriors, NBA style. So it is what it is, people. Hopefully expressions won't be mad if I do leave. I love the kid. He's a great guy, but Liverpool's a great club, bro. So yeah, it is what it is.
No better way to take us out. Love you all, people. See you guys soon. Take care.
Peace.